Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, welcome on in. We're here for our second episode of City of Mist, where in our prelude, we're all about to get arrested. I
That's
blame,
my guess.
I blame
We got
Polly.
it. Don't even worry about it.
Oh yeah, this is like turnabout is fair play here, right? I always blame everything that happens to us on Karsh in the other game, and how mean he is and unfair.
I'm just glad that it's not coming on me, the one who actually caused the problem.
Well, that's why
the
you're
best
gonna do
part.
That's why I wanted you to do our.
You guys are lucky if you get arrested. I might get shot and mounted on someone's wall looking like the Mothman. Like,
But then you can live forever, and that's what we all want, right?
In legend, you'd live forever.
Yeah.
I'm already the Mothman.
Sort of
There's
appropriate.
already legends.
There you go. We're just bookending the story. Perfect.
I also just want to point out in the other game, which Polly was referring to, I also blame Polly for setting off the end of book boss a level early. I mean a level physically and also a level in experience early. So totally blame her for that one too.
Hey man,
very
sometimes you
reckless
just gotta
player.
take care of business. You gotta take care of that business. I
Yes,
get it.
but when the GM doesn't know what's going on, it's really hard. Really, really hard. So that also
I
happened
play
last week.
unpredictably, that's for sure.
That also happened last week. But welcome on in. We are here for our
Hello,
second
everybody.
episode in the Prelude. We are back. We are back on YouTube. You're listening to the All Seen Eye Investigations audio from Son of Oak Studios. This is the actual beginner box audio which they have. We're going to be mixing in some Syrinscape audio as well, just for those added sounds and sound effects for the city. You can donate to the channel. I'm using our link below. As in below in the chat thing. It's not the super chat which you might be used to in YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
We-
You can get super chats now. Huh?
We don't have it yet. We are still based on on Twitch stuff. So we have like a Twitch version of things. But that will come through and that'll help our players have just that extra benefit when they need to do a roll. And let's just face it, we need those benefits right now because, again, Paul is having us arrested for something we may,
No, you got yourself.
but most likely
arrested.
have not done.
Hey man, no one's been arrested yet. I don't like how declarative that is. We're still free right now. We'll get out of it.
Yep. Well, see, because we left.
Some of us are hiding badly, so
No. Yep.
I tried to get Do out of there, but it didn't happen. So that's pretty much what's happening. We'll do our intros, like of everybody going through. We'll start with I'll start with me. Hi, my name's Karsh. Welcome to GoblinCaveTV. I'm playing Chuck the Jock. He's not the brightest person around, but no, that's about it. He's not the brightest person around. That's pretty much it.
All right.
be a good footballer.
Yeah, protect the QB and tackle. That's about it. And I actually have skills in protecting the QB and tackling. That's
good.
yeah. Polter.
I am Polter. I'm playing Zeke Delphine. He's the security guard with the mythos of the Mothman, and currently front and center with the police. That's about it.
Journeys with D.
Hi, my name's Dee, and I'm playing Do, who is the artificer, the mechanical genius, and she's also obsessed with the 90s style and the vintage clothes and culture of that decade. And she's also
You're gonna make me
neurodivergent.
feel old.
We're already there. Yeah, and she can just kind of put things together as they come. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for making us feel old. Very, very, very old. Neon.
Hi, I'm Neon. I'll be playing Abrahm, Payne's very own dance instructor, and the sole person responsible for the chaos that we're in right now.
That was pretty too badass.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm totally going to blame you then. Wolf.
Hi, I'm Waffle Red Roses. I am playing Corvus Castle, the early childhood education professor at the university. And right now, the only person who may not be in immediate danger of the police arresting them, because I am not at the scene of the crime. I'm just like a few feet away, but far enough away to maybe not get arrested. But we'll see if I can change that.
And GMC.
Hi, I am the GMC, aka Cody. I'm playing Victoria Slane, the daughter of a mom boss turned sleuth buster turned hobo hiding in a dumpster, praying that the cops don't actually arrest her. And probably going to get arrested and then released because of dead. Well, dang it. So much for my backstory.
Is that what they do? I've been missing out this whole time.
Okay. So we also have our MC, our Mistress of Ceremonies.
Hello, it's me. I am Polly. I am the MC here. And if we're ready to begin, we can begin now. Let us. The scene opens in a dreary, again, still raining city, overcast.
Are we going to do the bits of our Geek Out thing? At least the functionality
yes,
of the
we
Geek
are.
Out.
But I'm trying to set the scene
Yep.
for the Geek Out. I'm just trying to set the mood, you know. And now that we have gotten into the city, we forgot at the end of last session, there is a move called Geek Out during credits. It is the method by which players get help or hurt points. We didn't do it last time, so we're going to do it today, and hopefully we'll remember to do it after the session. If someone wants to, it's already there on the chat, the Roll20 chat. So I'm going to go from left to right, top to bottom. You can choose one. The rules say you can choose up to 3, but we're going to stick with one of those 3 questions, and then you can answer that. So we'll start with Do. You can answer one of these 3 questions. How's the crew growing during the session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character? Or which of your themes is under the most strain?
Yeah, so I'm going to choose which character had the most meaningful interaction last session, and I'm choosing Chuck, and I'm putting a help point under Chuck because even though, so Do saw how Chuck was really trying to look out for her and take care of her, and even though the outcome wasn't perfect, she still recognized that. So,
All right, good.
Yeah.
And Emery. Sorry, Zeke.
It's all good.
Zeke. Yeah.
I'm just answering one of the questions from the.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Just one.
I am probably going to go with how has the crew grown this session? Because even though we don't really have a base to grow from, considering it was our first session, I feel like even though we are royally screwed, we still all came together and tried to help each other.
Okay, so were there any burnt crew power tags, or should we just mark attention, or do you want to mark attention? I just don't remember if there's any burnt crew power tags.
I think marking attention would probably be the best. I don't.
Okay.
think
Yeah, we as far as I know, we don't have any burnt crew power tags at the moment. We did not run anyone over with the van yet.
We haven't burnt the van to hide the evidence yet.
That's coming.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Chuck, our football star?
I think the yeah, I think the helping, I think the meaningful with Do. I'm gonna say Do. I'm sorry, Do. Being in danger and helping. I love that interaction. I also loved the flying interaction too. Like that to me just let me just have fun as a player.
Okay. Yeah.
But I loved the jock can try to save the day. Even though I failed, I tried.
I like your character. I mean, I even like your tags for a first character that you ever made. It's clever.
Really? I've got no idea what I'm doing, so...
Then you're in character the whole time.
Yeah. So sorry, what choice did you make?
Meaningful interaction, I think we do.
Okay.
Even if I could add with Zeke with the flying. I loved that as well. Either one I loved.
Okay, you get to pick one.
Oh, do.
All right.
Sorry,
You
Zeke.
get 1 health point.
It's all right.
If you can teach him to
Okay.
fly, I'll change it later.
Abram.
So yeah, I think I'll be following suit. The character that had the most meaningful interaction also would have been due with me when we went into the laundromat. The fact that she just kind of got sidetracked and then fixed a machine is really interesting to my character.
was
Just
cool,
like that
yeah.
that talent, that knack for machinery could prove to be useful. So I think I will also add a help point.
Okay. Corvus. Corvus Castle.
Yes, I think I'm also going to pick which character had the most meaningful interaction with you this character session. I'm going to pick, I believe it was Dew who attempted to lie to me about the pizza money. So I'm actually going to take a point of hurt with Dew for lying to me
Nice.
about my pizza money.
Oh my gosh.
Fun.
You had such an impact.
He really
That's
hates
good.
liars.
All right, I like
It's
that.
a big
Oops.
problem.
I like the mixing it
Nice.
up their choice.
love it.
All right. And how about Vicky?
I'm actually going to choose which one of your themes is under the most strain.
Okay.
And I think that would be my defining relationship as the boss's daughter, because I kind of abused and abused my status a lot last session,
True.
and
True.
I think it's under a lot of strain.
Hey, you criminals, what are you doing that is a crime right now?
Yeah.
Tell me. Tell me.
Somehow you
It's
pulled
like
it off.
that Steve Buscemi thing. Hello, fellow criminals.
I mean,
Wait, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, where he goes up, he's dressed as like a high school student, but he's clearly super old, and he goes into the school.
Hello,
and he's
fellow
like, "What
kids."
hello, fellow children."
He has like an ACDC style shirt
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his band.
Yep. But
I-
that was Vicky that session.
Yeah, I'm just meaning that I believe Polly's done the same in another show. The Hello
Ah.
Fellow Criminals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice.
Totally not a cop.
All right. Well, thank you for doing that. We will do that again at the end of the game. Now,
I don't remember what do I do for that one? Do I
you
crack
have
my?
to,
Crack-
the question is if you're, I don't think you, well, it says,
So you
let's-
flip the card,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
you
this
write
helps
on
you.
the flip side kind of like what is happening to your theme.
Right. It's just to keep
Okay.
track of that particular aspect of your theme. So when it has to, it's under, you can use what you write there as a way to invoke the thing we were talking about earlier, like the make a hard choice thing.
Oh, okay.
You can use that as a way to either, make a hard choice. All right. So according to the rules, which we will follow, at least as assiduously as we can, there is at the beginning of every session a voiceover monologue. And I have selected Abrahm to do the voiceover monologue. For purposes of our production here, it will be a look into Abram's mind, but also for our viewers, it will be a recap of where we are in our adventure as well. So, Abram, tell us, or
Show us something.
do it. Yeah,
Um,
just make magic happen.
So I think the first thing we hear before we hear Abram speak is the sound of a heartbeat, just rhythmic and pumping, and then the kicking in of a metal door before he starts to speak. Oh no, I've done it again. This is just like that night. Alarms, broken doors, sirens going off, and it's all my fault. I shouldn't have tried to go on the one stuff the way I did, but something was in there. I would be remiss but to think about the events that led to this moment. It all started with, what was it, Zeke's friend, the detective or something, warning us of sharks swarming in Miller Square. Our first foray there, not so fruitful, we'll say. Police and criminals seem to be working hand in hand, but that isn't really different from most things in the city. We got a little bit of information, but again, nothing substantial. So we decided to come back later. And let me tell you, that was a mistake. And here we are. Chaos, things falling apart all around us. I don't know where Zeke is. He's left, but the cops seem distracted by something. Maybe this will be our opportunity to leave. We're scattered. Hopefully that is our benefit.
That was
And
really good.
Scene.
Boom. Okay. And so the scene opens again. It's a kind of a look top down where you see our crew scampering, some hiding in the van, some trying to get into a dumpster but falling out or something like that. One of our team members tries to pick up the other and run, but then falls, and a giant beast from the air distracts at least some of the crowd of, well, shall we say, the handful of officers that come out of their cars toward the scene of chaos. And people out on the fire escapes are looking out because there's this blaring alarm going on, and while the officers are distracted by this crazy being, the mist envelops them, and they quickly forget that even happened, or perhaps think it was a spotlight or something else, and nothing from the legendary realm, and they are hot on everyone's heels. What do? You all have, okay. Also, I want to remind our audience that Corvus has been able to make the van that has brought you here look a little bit more nondescript than before. Make it look like, for some reason, the cops might look just past it. But unfortunately, Victoria, although being very streetwise, has rendered herself conspicuous too after a mishap at a dumpster. And so first, the cops, you can see their cars pull up. They stop right around that van, and they don't even give it a second look. They come about the first, this is a handful of officers, and they first come upon Chuck and one, they're distracted a little bit, just enough for Chuck and Do to like pull themselves together. So the two of you will say, Do, what do you do first as this handful of officers is coming at you? They have, there's flashlights on you. It's hard to see. What do you do?
All right. So,
You got a plan?
is there, okay. So what I think Do would normally do is I would turn to Chuck and say, okay, Chuck, it's the bottom of the ninth, 4th and 1.
That's good.
Whatever sports metaphor you need to get psyched right now, that's what I'm saying. And we are going to, so are there people in the way between me and the van? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I mean
are they all around us?
Have like,
They got a defensive perimeter around the van.
There's
We're
like
not going to
at
get to the
least
van.
2 police cars around the van that they've come out of the police cars, but
I think we need to go. I think we need to go to the flanks. We need to go out to the edges, out to the edge of the field. We need to get past them.
if you want to, well,
I know it's unconventional, but I can always carry you out of here.
go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. So are both of our in, because we're in an alleyway, so are both of our exits compromised? Or is it just the one that's near the van, that's near the road?
I would say that, there's only a handful of officers, and it's a relatively, it's not the smallest alleyway. It's, there's a reasonable sized entrance. I mean, it would be risky, but you could get through them, possibly.
Coach always said if you can't go through them, you could always go over them.
Okay. So I think what she would want to do is try to book it in the other direction.
Okay.
So is the alleyway a dead end, or is it is there an outlet?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
you will run into it's a back alley that dead ends. You know, it's sort of like a squared off thing, and there's, you know, apartment looking store entrance doors at the bottom, and then apartment looking sort of stuff at the top with fire escapes. There's doors there you might try, but it is a dead end.
Okay, so
before,
she would probably want to MacGyver it out because of her artificer abilities, and she's looking up and wants to try to create a grappling gun. So she has like generally like rope and other like artificer type things in her 90s themed backpack, and using her mechanical engineer tool set. So the idea is for her to try to get up above and then hopefully, you know, help tie the rope off and help Karsh like so that he can climb up too.
Okay, so that sounds like a change the game if you want to create something out of nothing, or, you know, as long as you can do it with your, with your powers.
All right, let me. So I have 90s themed backpack, mechanical engineer tool set.
Why would 90s themed backpack help you?
Because that's like where she keeps all of her stuff.
All right. You need help. I'll give it to you. But come on now. That's not that doesn't no, I'm not gonna allow that. That's crazy.
That's
If
where
you
the
said
rope
utility
is.
belt, I would have helped, like, try to petition for
It's
you.
like a utility belt, but everything's
All right,
in her
fine.
backpack.
That's a better argument, the utility belt thing. Okay.
Okay. All right, so we'll just do that and change the game.
I just don't want it to be like an automatic +1, you know what I mean? There you go. Boom, you did it. Okay, change the game.
All right. All right, so I'll create is like the grappling hook thing a story tag?
It could be, you know, you get to well, yeah, I mean, it could be. It's story tag. In fact, it probably makes most sense as a story tag.
Okay.
And you might want to prolong the effect, because otherwise it's going to be a temporary story tag.
Okay. So prolonged.
I mean, unless you don't want it to be prolonged. I mean, if you're just going to use it right now, then you could do something else. You could use one of the juices for something else.
Well, I'm going to use it right now to like go up to the roof and then tie it off and see if Chuck can climb up using the rope. Is that a different? You tell me what.
Yeah,
what's needed for that.
A temporary story tag will usually evaporate. You know, if you're not going to roll against it immediately, it probably won't last. So, you know, if it's for Chuck, then you're going to want it to be longer.
Okay.
You're going to want to make it ongoing.
All right.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right, and you did it. Somehow
Yay.
you've out of nowhere crafted just in front of all these police who are only feet away from you. They're like, wow, where did that come from? You're now climbing up the rope. What do you do now, Chuck? You see this?
I slapped my face like, okay, I can do it, and I'm burning a whole tag. Burning
Get it,
my
son.
rage takes over. Which also, I also want to point out, has the weakness tag. I no longer care about property, which is going to be applicable right now. And I start climbing up the wall itself.
I don't know if you can invoke a weakness tag if you're going to burn.
But no, I'm just pointing it out that it's there.
Okay, all right.
That
Yeah,
I'm
fine.
actually, my rage takes over, my strength takes over, and I start putting my hands into the wall itself and climb. Even though Doe's climbing her rope and grappling hook, I'm climbing up the wall itself. And so there might be a little bit of structural damage with the handholds, but that's for them to care about later. Whoops. So yeah, I'm totally burning that to get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay.
And if need be, if Doe had an issue, I was going to like try to pick her up, but she got out anyway.
Well, remember that was just to change the game, so she's not out of danger yet. She's got to, you know, there's going to be more.
Oh yeah.
she's got the rope. She's she's going up. Okay, so
that's burnt.
all right, so you burn the tag and you describe exactly what you're doing again, just so we can hear it again.
I essentially start slapping myself like I can do this, and I start put my hands into the wall itself, my feet into the walls, and just climb up the wall, doing a little bit of damage, using just brute strength instead of any skill or any.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to rule that mechanically as a success on a take the risk. So you achieved it, and you are on the top of the building when we get back to you. You've like made a pretty like an impressive escape, right? And now the police, they are under due, and I don't know, Chuck just took off and is just gone all of a sudden. But their attention is spread. So we have Abrahm, who has just come out of the store, and now you see these police, a group of police officers. Boom! They've passed up two of your friends, and they are, I don't know, they're like several steps away from you, right? Because they're at the opening of the alley. Well, they're moving into the alley, but you're more, you're like more behind the store. What do you do? What do you do?
So we see, Do create this grappling hook, and we see Chuck scale the wall. So I think he's like, all right, these guys got this. He takes he nods, he runs back inside and starts going up the steps to the roof. Hopefully getting there and locking the door behind him, because he has some plans as he arrives up there.
Okay, so you've never actually come out of the building. You just go back up. They don't see
either
you?
way, like I feel like he did come out for a second because Dude did yell for him last session. And then he just goes right back in. If they see him, they see him. But I think he's got an idea.
Okay. All right. What about okay, so I know Zeke is still flying, right? Or where did you end up at the end of the big flash?
I don't think we covered that.
Okay, well, we'll get okay. Fine. We'll get to you in a second. Corvus, you are before we get to Victoria, who's going to be the hardest one to escape here. Corvus, what are you doing? You're laying low in the van, around the van?
So I don't have the key, so I'm not in the van. What I'm currently doing right now is I put in some like wireless earphones, and I'm smoking a cigarette to make it appear like I don't really know what's going on. Can I see the police from where I am?
Yes, you can. But
go ahead.
Before you do anything else, I want to make sure that they didn't actually see you, that you're being chill. So I want you to roll a sneak around.
Sure. So I will pick Calming Presence as one of the power tags I'll be using here, because I'm not panicking or anything. I'll also say, and this might be up to you, able to stay focused on the task at hand. I am not panicking about what's going on around me. I am staying focused on just appearing.
I like it. I like it. Because there's chaos all over.
Yeah. I think that should be about it there. So I'll roll. And we're doing a sneak around.
Yeah.
A 9.
Okay. The police, they run past you. But okay, so there's a different there's a complicated someone unimportant noticed you, but that just made them important. You were perceived only by secondary sense. Somebody picks up your scent while you're sneaking. You're seen whispering a message. You must leave something important behind or be discovered. Okay, so as
I have something important I can leave behind.
What's that?
My father's pen. I have a very nice pen from my father that I got before he passed, and it's something I keep on me at all times. It could fall out of my pocket when I pulled out my cigarettes, and I don't notice it. And it can be identified as mine. It has like an engraving saying, to Corvus Castle, congratulations on graduating, something on that could identify it as mine.
Okay, so you drop that, and that is a great suggestion, because then you get a complete success, except for the dropped pen, so the police don't notice you at all. They keep going, and you're chill. You don't even notice you dropped the pen, I guess. Not yet, anyway. And I'm gonna remember that. I gotta put that in my notes, because that is gonna hopefully come back to haunt you at some point.
That is the idea.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
So besides sneaking around, I did have something else I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I still
Sorry.
have,
You're right.
Yeah, I still have my juice from last session of my focused Aura of Death. I would like to spend that to make a tag on one of the officers of medical emergency. Since
Ooh.
I am the Grim Reaper, and being a police officer is a very stressful job.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them is about to have a heart attack.
Okay. All right.
So I will use all 3 of my juice to create I believe, what is it? It's not burn a tag. So yeah, I am essentially creating a story tag of medical emergency of level 3. So basically, one of these officers is now having a heart attack.
Okay, so now the way story tags work is they don't have tiers, right? That would be a status.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking give a status. I was thinking of give a status.
Okay.
I'm giving. Okay. I assume these police are essentially one unit. I don't really know how best to describe it, but I am giving them a tier 3 status of there is now a medical emergency of someone having a heart attack who's an officer in their midst.
Okay, so
well, that escalated quickly.
Okay, so they are, again, mechanically they're a handful of officers, so that tier 3 status becomes a tier 2, but it's actually just one of them. It just it's a way to
it's just a distraction.
Well. So like one of them clutches his chest and drops to the ground. And so now they have medical emergency 2. Now it is not, you didn't spend a juice to make it ongoing. So it'll fade, but not immediately.
Once again, I do not intend to actually murder any of the officers. You can survive a heart attack. If I made it ongoing, he might have died.
No,
but this is just to create a medical emergency that they will now also have to deal with to distract.
Boom. Okay. All right. So that was actually a very good spending of your juice. So one of them drops to the ground, right? And the ones that don't are a little bit distracted. Now, the result of that, I'm going to say, is only one of them, out of the corner of their eye, spots Vicky, who is surprisingly conspicuous. And let's say everybody else besides the one now is going to aid the officer. So they're fairly distracted, but there is one out there that notices because you're conspicuous and starts not running toward you, but like pointing the flashlight, spots you and is coming toward you, with sort of hand on the sidearm, saying freeze is what he says. Police.
Yep. Let's see. And okay, yeah, I'd say I'm not moving, officer. You can clearly see, but actually, before I say anything, is it clear to tell from the officers here who's in charge?
Why don't you, if you want to find that out, you can roll, I guess, a quick investigate.
Sure. Would my street smarts help me figure that out or not?
Yeah, I think it probably would. All right,
and I also have a mythos tag from my relic that says spot who's in charge of like a group or a crowd.
That's pretty good.
I mean, to make if you don't like, we don't like it, I can change it. But it's basically the clearant is supposed to be a king selecting sword, so it made sense that the sword might know who's in charge of a group.
Okay, all right.
Oh.
So that would be an investigate. Very quick investigate.
I got 9.
9, okay.
Like I'm only really just asking the one question of who's in charge.
Okay, so you find out this way. The officer who is coming at you says, "Kaminsky, sir, we found one here." And you can see he's yelling at one of the police officers that is now giving aid to the one that fell to the ground. Kaminsky is the person that is calling the shots.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so because You didn't get a complete success. Your investigation does expose you to danger. This officer approaches you and attempts to restrain you. Roll. Sorry, you're gonna need to roll face danger because you're facing a cuffed 2 status.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, let's see. None of those will help me here. 'Cause obviously I wasn't gonna bring a known criminal bodyguard to something like this. I could say he arrives just in time, like a good squire, but that seems like a big stretch that I'm not willing to do. None of those will help me here. All right, I think. I mean, it is magic, so you tell me. I'll give you the 3 tags that I think might apply here, and you tell me which ones will work.
Okay.
So I've got my gallant knight stats because I mean, knights are, I'm a knight. In times of great need, a knight can call upon the strength of 10 men, but that's up to you. I'll admit that one's a stretch.
What else you got? So far, I'm not sold on these, but
I've got a suit of knightly armor, so like manifesting a suit of armor. Maybe like he handcuffs me, and then I manifest like gauntlets of armor, and that causes the cuffs to break because
You might just have to
Okay, I'll
roll
give you that
solo.
one. I'll give you that one.
All right, and slice through the opposition. I mean, I've got a sword that's just, disguised as not a sword. I could easily cut through the handcuffs, slice them through with my mystic sword.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time to react because what happened was you were too busy, or you were paying attention to who was in charge.
That's fair.
So like you're reacting to something right now. You're actually not, you're not going toe to toe. You're not hitting with all you got. You're just, you're facing danger.
I get you. I just
Okay.
So just the one. I'm okay with that.
Okay. And I don't think conspicuous 2 is going to apply to this, so that doesn't hurt you.
Okay, that's good. So face danger.
So I'll give you that. Yeah. Face danger +1.
Come on. Nope. I suck.
The cuffs go on. You are okay. So you miss, which means you take the full status of cuffed 2.
Okay.
Which I'm going to rule that it doesn't stack with conspicuous. No, I'm going to say it does stack with conspicuous. So we're going to say restrained 3.
Okay.
You're restrained 3.
Okay.
Sorry,
should I change the tag that I have that says conspicuous 2 to restrained
3? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure my notes are all accurate.
Yeah. So what happens mechanically for those of you who are watching City of Mist for the first time, if you have a status, for example, a tier 2 status like conspicuous 2, that sort of was, a little bit advantageous to the cops. What I ruled was that he gained, and we added cuffed 2 to a tier 2 status, which when they don't stack 1 for 1, but they do increase the tier by 1 if it's the same tier status. So the cuffed, or so cuffed 2 plus conspicuous 2 became a combined tier of combined status of restrained 3. I don't know if anybody cares about that. I like this game and how it works, so I'm explaining it. Anyway, you're restrained 3. There's only 1 police officer between you and everybody else, though. And now, from the heavens, what happens with Zeke, who has exploded in power, and now may do something else?
Am I able to see what's going on with Victoria?
You tell me. If you were looking down on the alley, then yes. I mean, after all,
I imagine he would have.
She has been conspicuous.
Imagine after trying to scare the police, he probably would have tried to get to higher ground.
I imagine so. So yeah. You have full view of what's going on. We'll just say that.
All right. While the other officers are rushing to help the one that's been down, I will try to help out Vicky. So I think what I'm going to try to do is, you know, those shows where, like the nature shows where like an eagle tries to like swoop down and like grab like an animal that's running. I'm going to basically try to have him like try to swoop down, and I don't know if I want to say attack the officer, but I definitely want to hit him with enough force that he is separated from Vicky.
Okay, you want to go between. Now, this officer does not see you coming, right? Completely focused on restraining Vicky, knows everybody's flying around. So this is going to be a hit with all you got. You have a clear open shot here. And your goal is to do something.
And just for clarification, I do believe you are attacking the police officer.
Yeah.
We can use
Whatever
as much
it is.
flowery language as we
Yeah.
want.
All right, I have my inhuman strength tag, my wing manifestation, and holding my own in a fight, I think, will also help. Let's see.
And gravity.
Yeah.
Wait a
and
second.
gravity.
Tell me what the first two were again.
My inhuman strength and my wing manifestation from my
Oh,
expression.
yeah, okay.
tag.
All right. Okay.
Die bomb.
And then I have holding my own in a fight from one of my logos tags. So I think I will. Let's see. If this ends badly, it's gonna be really bad. So I would like to add a point from my donation.
That's right. You
Thing.
still have one left after that. I've got to get them into
Yes.
the overlay somehow, but you can donate to the channel. Every donation, $1, helps give us essentially a plus to our rolls. So I haven't got them
Alright.
into the overlay
You
yet.
can pick your favorite character to give that to.
I will go ahead and add that. So I have. All right, and you said it was a hit with all you got.
Hit with all you got. I mean, you can try to choose something else if you think something's more appropriate, but I think that
Yes.
works. Boom. Okay.
Nice.
So that was a power of 4. So you have, you can choose 2 of those things, and you have extra choices because you had a great success.
I'm going to say I want to get them good. Basically, I want to stun him. I want him to not know what the hell's going on. Let's see.
Okay. Now keep in mind, if you do not control collateral damage, there will be some collateral damage. And, if you don't choose to secure a superior position so they can't hit you back, you will get hit back with something.
Yeah,
Because the other police, they were somewhat distracted, but this hawk flying out of the air,
Yeah. All right. I think I'll try to gain a superior position. And I guess control the collateral damage would probably be the best. I think those are the 2 I'm going with. Control the collateral damage and superior position. I think if I gain this dude's attention and he can't get me, that'll at least
Okay.
create.
All right. So what is the status you would like to give this poor officer?
Stunned, I guess.
All right. Why don't we say subdued 3 or 4?
All right. I like that.
Okay. Okay. So tell us exactly how that happens.
So
What do you do to the cop?
The poor guy just trying to do his job.
I know, right? A civil
Jeez.
servant here.
One
Well,
week,
I'm not-
1 week
I'm
from
not
retirement.
Servant protect.
I'm not
That's
the
the
one
one
that
having the heart
gave him a
attack.
heart
is one
attack.
week from retirement.
Yeah, what
He'll
is
never
it?
be the same again.
So yeah, imagine Zeke. He's 1 second he's on the top of the building, and then just like almost he swoops down like a hawk or like a bird of prey, and just rams like full force into this dude and manages to knock him at least back from Victoria.
Okay. All right. So That succeeds. Boom! The cop is pushed back, and as it turns out, the cop is knocked out. It's done. You get it. It's boom.
Dead.
Kaminsky and the other few cops that are there, of course, turn and guns drawn. Now they know that there's something going on. One officer down. We need backup. Yeah, 2 officers. Yeah, we need backup quick. Also, we need medical immediately. Officer down, and stuff is gonna happen. Abram has reached the top of the roof. What are you gonna do?
So he bursts through and immediately locks the door behind him, and I think he's standing at the edge of this building that he had just ascended, and he's seeing this chaos below him. And there are flashes of the night that he caused the disaster in the theater that lost him his position. And like all of these things are swirling around in his mind. And I would like to ask how you feel about a stop holding back move.
Do it.
So
I will rule it to be a significant. If you want to do this, it'll be a significant.
Oh yeah, let's roll
the
with
lowest
it.
level. Yeah.
So I think
I always love these.
Those flashes and those memories are kind of swelling up a lot of emotion within him, and instinctually he begins to twirl. I think there's a few just very fluid motions with his arms and his feet, and as he's doing that, dust begins to pick up. Trash in the alleys begin to pick up. And then I would like to do a stop holding back as all of this coalesces into a monstrous like sand and dust and debris storm. And, the Mothman predicts tragedy and large things, and we had the Mothman, so it's time for the disaster. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And if you succeed, of course, you have narrative control over the game and can tell us what happens. But if you fail, the costs are
they're bad. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
ready.
Because this is a significant threat, I just want people to know, if you roll a 7 through 9, you have to mark fade and crack and burn all of the power tags on a theme. If you roll a 10, if you succeed, you still have to mark fade or crack on one theme, or on the theme that you well, it just says one theme. So anyway, go ahead.
So I have a lot of cases here, but I am going to tag a weakness as well.
Okay, so the way that stop holding back works is you roll plus your
flat
logo, so it's just plus 3.
Alrighty.
So you roll plus 3 basically. 3. You don't add anything else to it.
That works for me.
Oh, you did it!
Yes.
Okay. Mark fade or crack on one theme and tell us. You're the GM. You're the MC now. Tell us what happens.
So that storm begins to swell, and we see the officer get knocked out. We see another have the heart attack. We see Dew and Chuck across the buildings, and this storm becomes larger and larger, with Abram at the eye just kind of twirling. And each rotation he makes, the storm itself becomes wider and stronger until visibility within Miller Square is limited to like 3 feet, 4 feet in front of you. And as he kind of like stops, the storm continues. And he uses that opportunity under the cover of dust and debris to disappear across the rooftops, heading home.
Okay, so do you take anybody with you? You can literally do anything, right? You've just unleashed all of your power. It's all like floating around. Oh, cool. Actually, here's what I
imagine. Yeah, it obscures so everyone can take this moment.
Here's what I will say. Yeah, everyone, what's happening over there. You're like, oh my God, Abram has done this thing. You all have no more statuses because it's sort of a reset now. Nobody's restrained. Somehow Victoria has worked her way out of there. You can now leave if you want to, or you can wait for the dust to settle and see what happens.
Well, I'm getting out of there.
Okay, is anybody sticking around?
Are we staying or going?
Let's go. Let's
In the midst of
hightail it to the van.
Yeah. You can get away.
Get the
clean.
F out of here.
The van's still where they are.
Yeah, but they're all like
There's
caught up
no
in the
way
dust.
they will see anything that's happening. This is a freak event to them. You know,
Okay, let's go.
Like the dust is getting in their eyes. They're covering up. They're like, what? This is the worst day to go to work. You know, we have, you know, the guy who's even passed out or whatever. He's like being hit with air so hard. He's like rolling around in the alley. These people are not going to be a problem for you at this moment.
Okay, let's go. You lead the way.
All right,
Do you need me to throw you down there?
I'm still on the rope, so I was like swinging around. Lou was just like,
No.
spoiler alert, this is going to be a hurt point later. But like, she's just like, swinging all around. And once it settles, she's like, okay. All right, Karsh. Yeah, let's, I'm just going to shimmy down here and hightail it to the truck. Let's go.
I'll take the crook off as I then climb down. So she's then got the rope again.
Right.
Cool.
It's always best to keep your tools and toys. And get to the
Now-
van.
Okay. Anybody's sticking? Everybody's gone.
Yeah, I imagine
mean-
I flew out of there once I saw them heading towards the van, knowing that the van's
Pulling
gonna be
back
back.
is so great. It's like
I was about to
he
say,
adds the dramatic stuff.
Zeke has the keys to the van.
I mean,
So Zeke,
I imagine like either dude would be able to make keys, or like I probably would have given copies to keys with people who I trust with the van. So I'm sorry, Chuck.
You think that door's going to stop me from getting in?
it's more about making the van go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I can
someone else's problem.
hotwire it. Don't worry.
I'll just
Yeah,
push
so,
it from behind.
So
I'm just hoofing it the old-fashioned way. I'm not gonna trust the van. I'm not gonna go in the van and have something go wrong. I'm just trying to get as far away as possible.
Yeah, I'm
Corvus
flying
is just sitting by the driver's side door, still smoking his cigarette and getting hit with stuff too, and just being unfazed by it. Because I'm immune to non-magical attacks, and being hit with debris is just non-magical, so it's just hitting me, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, you're having a smoke, right? All
Yeah.
right, so here's what happens. You all gather in the midst of this storm. I believe you all get in. Those who want to get in the van and leave. The rest of you go fly out through the four winds. I don't think anybody said they're sticking around. You do make your way out of there. And slowly after you're gone, the dust settles. There are still police officers. The camera goes up, showing the entire alley. You can see an ambulance arrives, and they start working on the officer. The camera then zooms in, and you can see the officer down, lying there, being worked on by paramedics. Paramedics are also working on the other officer there, and then you see a shot. You know, the like shot then changes to another camera that like is below the van where it drives off. I'm amidst this like chaos, and you see this pen in the street just lying there right next to where the paramedics are working on the officer. Fade to black.
Mic drop.
Yeah, and so now you're gonna do a montage scene. I assume, you tell me, is it time for downtime, or do you want to immediately gather as quickly as you can back in your clubhouse, your science room? What? Give me some thoughts.
Abram's probably taking time. I think he sits on the edge of Miller Square, somewhere high up, and just watches the storm as it both comes in and then dissipates, kind of trying to connect to it, relate to it.
All right, so I'm going to give you this. While you're sitting there watching what you have wreaked upon this, and reflect over whether something in you has changed forever, you notice something strange. You notice a number of the officers that were obviously backup show up in their squad cars. They come out of the squad car. You can see this after the dust is starting to settle. You stay around a little bit, and you notice they're having, conversations, not unexpected, with people who look like organized crime. But the group of them at some point go into this other shop just off Miller Square you didn't notice before. It looks like a pawn shop. You sort of squint and you look at the name, and it's called I'm sorry, this is not smooth. You like squint and you look at the name. It is called Second Chance Pawnbrokers. And then you do whatever
Awesome.
it is you're going to do after that. You just happen to notice that seems to be important to both
The cops and the
elements.
thugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason. Okay, let's do a montage scene. Somebody want to roll the montage downtime?
I mean, if you wouldn't mind, I think that was kind of like my montage, unless you want
Okay,
me to
yeah,
do
that's
something
fine.
else, because I feel like I got a lot of information from
Yeah.
doing that. So
Yeah.
Here, I'll put that in there for everybody though.
Yeah, that was probably that's a good call. So that will be your you work the case basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do? You get away. Oh wait, sorry. Fill us in how you got out of there. The rope. Did you come down the rope? Did you get in the van? How'd you get out of there?
Yeah, I had come down the rope, and then Chuck unhooked it for me, and I put it in my backpack, and I just ran as fast as I could to get to the van. I got in the van, checking the visor. I'm like, oh, where'd Zeke put the keys? Checking the glove box, checking around. I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead and go underneath. And so she hot wires it, gets the van started, and has others come in, and I guess she's driving it. So she drives to the mystery room, because we have to like take the van back to the university and hopefully can meet up with Zeke.
Okay, and of course you know that we're doing this sort of a montage scene. So let's say that there is time. Let's say you'll have till the end of the day, to do something, because you want to just, you don't want to go back immediately to, do any further investigation. So you're going to have at least the rest of the day to do something else. And that'll be where the move will apply. So you can do one of those: give attention, work the case, explore your mythos.
Yeah, so she wants to give attention to her logos theme.
Okay.
And it's the theme that's really about her tools, and so she's would be let's say she after she returns the vehicle or whatever, that she's in her workshop, and she's just itemizing all the things that she has, and is thinking about, okay, what are some new inventions that I can put in here, and it's to make for her utility belt, so to speak, and is just thinking about what just happened, and what would have helped best in the situation. And so she's like, man, I really need to brush up on my lock picking skills. That was just like, because she failed on that part mostly failed when she was trying to pick the lock.
Right.
So that's what she's been thinking of. So I'm marking attention on that theme.
Okay, good. All right. Zeke, what are you up to?
I imagine.
The rest of the day, at least.
Was it night when we left, or was it day? Like, did all those events happen during the night or day?
It was late. It was like late afternoon, if I remember correctly, and then so you have the rest of the day, and then whatever you want to do at night.
I thought we went there. I thought we went in the afternoon to have lunch, then left, then came back later in the evening.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, then you don't have a lot of time, to do anything. It's probably not. I probably shouldn't have done a montage scene, but whatever. We're learning.
I imagine
we are.
My thing would be to give attention to my logos once I get back, because I just wasn't there for a while. And I'm trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, no, I was there the whole time. Like, I'm really trying to, act like I've been in my routine. I've been here the entire time, and definitely not attacking police officers.
All right, good. Chuck.
Back in the mystery room, back in the science room, Chuck is having problems, and if anyone notices, he's on one of the computers. This time, not on Google, but he's trying to set up a MySpace page for his fans. And that's what he's doing. He's setting up a MySpace for his fan page. So I'm tending to my fans are my family.
All right.
So I'm giving attention to
Mark
that.
attention to that theme. Because I have references, I can say mark attention to your my team is my fans are my family.
Mm-hmm.
And Abram, you got clues. You did a good job there sticking around. Corvus.
Yeah, Corvus is going to explore his mythos a little bit, specifically his what I call it, Cold Air of Death one. So the question there is death all I can bring to the world? Which, with the heart attack he instigated earlier, would indicate yes, but he wants to further explore to see if maybe he can use this application to do something other than maybe age things and give people heart attacks. So he is attempting to break down like plastics or metals to see if he can like do something with this that would actually be helpful to the world rather than just killing things.
Okay.
So he's experimenting with that. So he goes back to science room and he checks in with everyone, make sure there's okay, and then he goes home to do this. He does not do this at the campus. He doesn't really like using his powers in the open too much. He did it that time because if he didn't, he was pretty sure everyone was going to get arrested. So most of the time when he uses his powers, he doesn't like doing it around others. So he's going to go home and attempt to see what he can do with these powers, especially with the moral conflict he has of, I have essentially caused someone maybe irreparable physical harm. Is there something else I can do with this that isn't that?
Right. Okay. So this is the theme. Is death all I can bring to the world?
It's my expression theme of Cold Air of Death, and the mystery is death all I can bring to the world?
All right.
So yeah, I'm exploring that mystery.
Mark attention. Now the rules also say you get one clue with a method and source based on your description. What kind of clue do you think you could get from that?
What kind of clue? That's a bit of a hard one. The only thing I could think of is maybe because we just found out about the pawn shop, so I won't say I know about it because that wouldn't make any sense. Maybe there is something I just picked up randomly at Miller's Square that I am essentially about to break down. Then I realize, hey, this is linked to something important in Miller's Square that's going on. I don't know if that works for you. If you want to come up with what that is, maybe a little bit later on. That's the only way I can really think of too.
Here's what I will say. You decide you have to take notes on the stuff that you're learning. You go to reach for your pen and it's gone. You think back in your mind, you realize what happened, where it is, and now I'm telling you, somebody's picked up the pen, and that person is in law enforcement or somewhere in precinct 23. Your pen is being held by somebody. In fact, we'll say Kaminsky has your pen.
Kaminsky!
All right, Victoria.
All right. I guess I probably should describe how I got out of there first.
Sure. Yeah. I'd like to know.
So I did not go back to the van because I was kind of panicking. One, I was about to be hauled off to jail, which would not have looked good for not only my reputation, but it would have also put probably a strain with me and my old man, and probably my mom too. So I booked it I booked it like down an alleyway and then like a couple of blocks, like I just ran until I couldn't run anymore. found myself a street corner, called my faithful bodyguard Bernardo, aka Big Bernie, and asked him to get me the hell out of here. Things went
Okay.
pot. And then he got me out of there, thankfully, because he's a nice guy. Probably gave me an earful later. And then as far as my montage, I already have a pretty good idea of what's going on there. So I'm gonna actually recover from my last activity. So I'm exhausted. I'm just gonna go home, read some books, and recover the power tag that I had burnt before.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Did I miss anything?
You can be reduced by your downtime. How many cheers? Yeah, I'm just trying to find that on the choices. Is it prepare for your next activity?
Oh,
Yeah,
is it prepare?
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I might have. I got those two.
Recover from your last activity for each ongoing status effect still affecting you. Blah blah blah.
Oh,
Alternatively,
okay.
DM
I got
speak
the. I got those.
Yeah.
I got the two. Prepare is what I'm going to do. Is recover. So
You want to recover your burnt power tags, though, right?
Yeah. That's what I wanted.
So, yeah. So that's prepare for your your
Sorry.
next activity.
I got those confused because I'm no longer restrained. I don't think.
No, I let that go because you had time to get away. You're not really restrained if nobody can see you.
Yeah. So I'm preparing for my next activity by going home, taking a break, reading some books, trying to avoid my old man, and getting ready for another day of hopefully not getting arrested.
Okay. That's everybody. So the montage scene is done. You gather, we'll say, the following day in Science Room M, and you tell me what time of day it is. And there's no specific order that I have in mind for who's going to decide what. So you can decide amongst yourselves when you meet and what happens.
And what is the day exactly? Is this a Saturday, a Sunday?
Ooh,
Are there
that's a good question.
classes?
Why don't you decide?
What are classes?
It's okay,
We
Chuck.
did
Don't
talk
worry
our
about
students were all
It's
over
okay.
the place, but that was a couple days ago. So this could be the weekend,
Yeah.
or you could, you just did a downtime scene, so you could make it the weekend. It's whatever day that you have decided all together to meet up again.
Yeah,
I think it would be. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's either a Saturday or a Sunday. I think
Yeah.
last night was either Saturday or Friday night, and now we are going to get back together, discuss, if anything, what we learned, because we haven't done that yet, and then kind of figure out our next steps. So I think we're probably doing this since it's, the weekend, probably afternoon, because I assume even on the weekends, Chuck has practice. Sports, they have practice almost every weekend. So I think we're mid-afternoon at this point.
Sounds fair to me.
All right, so you gather there.
Hey, look at this! I got a follower on MySpace. Oh wait, no, that's me.
Why? I mean, the more shocking fact is that somebody actually still uses MySpace.
Wait,
It's
I
so
thought this is what
rad.
everyone uses.
Well, a lot of bands still use MySpace because a lot of modern social media platforms don't have a good avenue to post your music on. So MySpace is actually still in heavy use by the musical community.
I wonder
has
if my
points.
band's still on there.
But he's not a musician. He's a football player. He should probably be using Twitter or Facebook.
Well,
Yeah.
What?
Chuck is
what's Facebook?
he's a special guy.
Don't listen to them, Chuck. MySpace is so rad.
Is she trolling me?
No, I think she's being genuine,
no.
Chuck.
I think she is
Wait.
being honest, but
Yeah, I'll
think
I'll send you my profile.
I think she's also living 20 years ago, before
Hey.
before she was even born. before I was even born.
There's
I have to
nothing
talk to
wrong
my-
with keeping it retro.
I'd have to talk to my older brother.
Anyway,
I thought I was doing good.
You are.
You're
Don't
doing
listen to
great.
him.
you are doing what's good for you, and that's what's important.
No, but it's not
Why
about
didn't
me,
you
it's
become
about the
big?
fans. Okay, raw numbers. Thank you for the donation. 2 luck for every. So 2 luck, lucky days, Sarah K. Thank you so much.
Nice.
So that I think is two to
Hey.
everybody. I'm sorry, still need to update the overlay shows, but that will give 2 to everybody, and Polter then having 3 because you still had 1 from last week.
Nice.
Thank you.
So you can remember it in your status cards on your sheets, just to keep a reminder. I will get that update on the overlay so it's shown. Thank you so much for the donation. It means a lot to us. Let's get back into the MySpace. No?
So putting the MySpace aside, did we learn anything last night? I know I didn't, get really in the middle of everything, but did we discover anything? Any new?
But-
What did you see inside, Abraham? You were the one that went inside.
He kind of leans back on the small desk that he was near. Well, inside I unfortunately didn't have time to see much, but I had to give my shoes a good drying afterwards. I thought that was a little odd. Some kind of liquid on the floor or something.
Like water? Like
I mean-
when you say
Flooded.
No, just a small puddle. And somehow I managed to land on it.
a puddle in the middle of, I've seen
I
a lot
don't
of.
want to. I don't want to say what I
CSI.
think that puddle was.
Sharks, right? Is that what? We talking about sharks
No,
again?
that's.
Wa-
that
I mean-
makes-
Was it
That-
yellow?
That's what I
Oh.
was thinking, Chuck.
I
I
honestly
mean-
didn't look.
Did you
I
I
taste
hope
it?
not. I did not.
They say never taste yellow
Just
snow.
in case.
I just want to say, I mean, given everything that we've seen so far and everything we've done, look over like the giant dust storm. It wouldn't be so. I mean, Miller Square is almost the entire square is being property of some loan sharks. Would it be super surprising to know that loan sharks is both a literal, a figurative and literal term? Given the fact that I have a sword that looks like to umbrella to everyone else, not really.
I mean, you have points. And to second that, I don't know how it works over here, but there was a pawn shop afterwards that I saw. Both police and the ruffians. They both seem to have some sort of stake within it. They go to check it out after storm. Maybe a loan shark work pawn shop or something? Is that how it work?
I mean, if I was gonna set up a loan operation, a pawn shop would be like perfect cover.
Yeah, it sounds like a good front.
So just for my own personal clarification, you will set up you set up loan issues, Vicky? I mean, we know your connections, but don't really know where you sit morally when it comes to those things.
I detest that sort of thing, but I've been watching them do it since I was 5 years old, so I've picked up a thing or two. Don't ever suggest that I would do that thing. I'm not I'm not like my old man. I'm not.
I apologize for the offense. I just curious, I wouldn't blame anyone for doing anything outside of their means to take care of themselves.
What's wrong with your old man?
He's a scumbag.
He's not a great person, Chuck. Let's just leave it at that. That is another issue. I left behind my father's pen at the scene.
Well, that's stupid.
Like just a regular pen, right?
I actually have to agree with Chuck there. Please don't tell me it was a special pen or something.
It was, and no, it was not on purpose. I did not leave it there because I wanted to.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
Is there a name on it or anything, or is it just like a regular pen?
My initials are. It was a gift from my father. Now, I was in the plaza in the afternoon, so I can easily say if they come to ask me questions that I was there that afternoon. I was easily seen there by a variety of people.
Were you seen there last night as well?
No, the police didn't seem to pay any attention to me, especially after the dust storm and the heart attack and the man from the sky knocking someone over.
Is that your superpower that people don't notice you?
No.
Okay.
No, it is not.
Also, it is just pen. I mean, how much trouble could it be?
It just means...
Did you touch it? Like, does it have your fingerprints on it?
I imagine if it's his pen.
I would imagine so,
but wiped it off.
Why would I? No, I don't know. But once again, I have an excuse of being there in the afternoon. We got pizza, we bought sodas. I can just say I dropped it then. But they don't have that.
I'm in more deep water than he is in that car, because one of those cops saw me and cuffed me before the dust storm hit, and I got out of there. Surprised he hasn't come knocking yet.
Well,
yeah, and also, if anyone asks, I wasn't there. I
did manage to hide the van from them. It should have cleared up by this morning, but I managed to hide the security paint job on the side. So that should be fine.
All right.
I feel like...
How did you hide it?
I temporarily rusted the paint off. It should be back by now.
All right. As long as it's temporary.
It should be.
So what? Narrowing things down, we have two options, correct? We could check out Second Chance or the speakeasy that was mentioned yesterday. Those are our two paths.
That bar that Chuck found.
I was going to order pizza.
You know of no speakeasy.
I was going to order some pizza. I thought that was the option. Anchovies and non-anchovies.
From the pizza place down in Miller Square again?
Doesn't matter. I'm just hungry for pizza now. That was mentioned.
But
you mentioned.
Okay.
I didn't. They didn't.
I mentioned it.
See.
All right.
Well, anyways, lunch aside, I think that the pawn shop is a better guess than anything else. If the cops and the gangsters were both involved, and they're clearly working together, that'd probably be a better place than a bar that Chuck found on Google.
Now, it is a bit more risky to go back down there after what happened. But hey, I like a little bit of adventure, so it is fine with me.
I mean,
I was about to say Miller Square is probably sealed off pretty heavily now. I don't think we can stop there anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to waltz in. It's either we go in hot or we figure out some other way to get there. I'm certainly not going to attempt to play criminal again. Didn't go so well.
Yeah, like, criminal's bad. You shouldn't be that's bad.
It's not always that black and white. Anyway.
Speaking of
but the police are black and white. And they're the good guys.
Aren't they blue and red?
Well,
their cars are,
it depends on where you are. There's a whole bunch of different things. It's fine.
They really need to test him for concussions. It's starting to scare me.
No more
tests. I wonder if I gave that guy a concussion. Anyway.
It could not be of any worse than what I did, so it's fine. Or what the storm did to these people, so...
Yeah, what happened
Abrahm,
to that guy?
Looks down,
he just keeled over and drew their attention. Was that you?
It was.
What did you do?
Nothing you need to worry about right now. it worked. The man should be fine. So we...
I know I know this is going to give me a headache, but define should be fine.
I would like to know as well.
The incident I caused should not have been lethal. He should be in the hospital recovering, but he will be fine in about a few days to a week's time.
So what you're telling me is there's a chance that he is not.
There is. I don't know if he had any other medical conditions before I did what I did. So there is a chance, but...
And is it like
that and...
a death ray? Do you use your hands, or is it like with your eyes? How does it work?
None of your business is how it works.
Oh.
For flavor, Polly, could I roll to see if I could gain like visions of if that dude's gonna be okay?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
do that.
And my headache tablets.
But
So
tell us how
fast.
you do it. Tell us how you do it.
I imagine it's just if I gain like a vision or anything, he's gonna try to look into the future, and I imagine if anyone can like glimpse his eyes like over his glasses, they're pretty much always there, and it's hard to see his eyes. You would see like they're just glowing red completely. That's what it looks like when he gets like a vision of something to come.
Yeah, I mean, there's a move called Look Beyond the Mist, right? Let's see. It's we've never used it. It's not in any of the quick. I'm just trying to pull it. Well, we can figure it out later.
I have it pulled up.
Okay.
Look beyond the mist. When you reach inside to get in touch with your mythos, you can feel the truth behind things without even knowing how. Play it out like an investigative move, but roll plus mythos instead. On a myth, get clues equal to mythos.
Okay, so you have 2 mythos, so you roll plus 2.
All right, and it was investigative.
So you're essentially rolling, like investigate.
Nope,
You
I
know
can't
that
see anything.
you focus and you look. You reach out and you see symbols, numbers throughout. It's almost like the Matrix. You see flowing down like a waterfall. For a second, you see this hospital room. You hear this beep, 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 and you realize this is the officer that has been struck with a heart attack. He is clinging to life. Well, he seems like he's going to make it, and you attempt to close off your connection to the mist, but something happens where the mist tries to hold on to you and draw you further into it. And at the same time, you can see the officer laying in the bed starts shaking, and you can see you hear the doot, doot, doot. Something about the connection is causing ripples in the fabric of the mist, and as you try to pull away, you just see, just as soon as the scene dissolves, the beep beep just goes beep, and you know that the officer is gone.
Good job, Zeke.
Oh my gosh.
Well, in hindsight's 2020, okay? In retrospect, I guess I shouldn't have tried to look into the future, but I thought maybe for once I would see something nice. Apparently, that ship has sailed.
But you did answer, but your question has been answered.
Oh, yes, it has.
Thankfully, not technically my fault in this in this one instance.
You have plausible deniability, my guy.
Yeah, granted, is like, unless Zeke tells us the vision of, I accidentally caused that guy's heart attack. Like, I don't know what's going on, or I caused his heart to finally fail despite him recovering.
Yeah,
or he just comes back and he's like, he died.
Yeah, you killed him, Corvus. I'm sorry to report.
Yeah. No, I don't think Zeke would be that cruel. You know, stealing $20 from him maybe, but convincing him that he's responsible for the death of another person, he's not going to be that cruel.
I thought you meant stealing $20 from the dead cop, and I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that too, but I didn't get his wallet, so.
So yeah, Zeke, do you tell us what you see?
Yeah, I kind of like snap out of it, and I'm like, well, we got good news and bad news. The good news is that I know what happened. The bad news is that you might not like it.
So Laserhot doesn't deliver to the area?
Yeah, let's say that's the bad
They
news.
found the pen. They found his pen.
We aren't going to have to worry about that guy looking into us anymore.
He went blind?
He retired early.
He's
I
dead.
admire both of your naivety. Yeah, but good news, Corvus, you don't have to feel guilty about it. I think that was actually my fault.
Do you feel guilty?
I'm going to try not to feel anything about it because, yeah,
Doesn't that
I'm not
suck?
going to think about it.
Doesn't that really suck to not feel anything?
Yeah, that's not good.
I know.
Should-
You get
I
hurt
see a lot of
and you
bad
don't-
things happen. I see pretty much exclusively bad things happen all the time.
I mean,
At
was he
some
gonna
point, you
die
gotta get
anyway?
used to it.
So just mechanically, you kind of know what happened. For those of you who don't know the City of Mist system out there, when you roll and you miss, it's not like other games where something just doesn't happen. Instead, the MC makes what is called a hard move, and there's many choices that I can have. It's where I get to be creative. One of the hard moves is called make something horrible happen, and so that's what I chose to do. And I thought, we're gonna do that. That's gonna be a sort of a, the cost of missing. So.
Out of character, I thought that was very cool. In
That's
character,
mechanically what's
Zeke's,
on Yeah.
Trying to wrestle with the fact that he should be more horrified about this.
Yeah, that's
And if you're not
fair.
familiar with City of Mist or Powered by Apocalypse games, our MC is less active compared to the players, where this is player-driven narrative.
Yeah.
The MC reacts off us.
And I never roll.
And never has to roll, just punishes us for when we fail.
Yeah.
Punishes us hard sometimes like that. I think this might be a time for a break.
Okay, sounds good.
This
Alright.
is a nice little time there, and we'll get
Yeah.
into our investigation when we come back. Thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you again for the donation. It means so much for us. We'll be back shortly, and about 10 minutes. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe. I just remembered we're on YouTube, so yes, like, subscribe. That's kind of really weird that we're on YouTube for this one, but you can also like follow our Twitch channel. And things like that. I'm going to see if I can get set up all our social details in YouTube as well at some point. This is a new experiment for us, and I'm just loving City of Mist. The whole YouTube side is just weird. But we'll be back in about 10. Stick around.
All right.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around.
Thank
What's
you
up?
for
What's up?
sticking around. What's up, everybody? Hey,
That's what I was expecting.
it's your girl, Polly.
But not in Polly, people. Pretty girl, Polly. So we're back. Part 2, episode 2. The conclusion of the entire City of Mist, because we win. That's what it's named. Let's
Is
do
that what
it.
it's called? All right. Okay. Well, you're in charge of the names, though.
No, it doesn't work like that. That we can't just name it that we win.
I mean, we can, but only matters if the name means anything.
Damn. We rolled really, really well, and City of Mist rolled really, really poorly because they don't get to roll at all, and that means we win.
There you go. There you go. You hacked the rule book.
That's how it works.
However,
If we never roll below a 12, nothing can go wrong.
Hey, I just found out about Dynamite where you can roll above 12, so I'm good.
You ain't there yet.
You
Yeah, we ain't there yet. That's a while from now.
You
Next
remain in Science Room M, but you've decided to go check out the pawn shop?
Yeah, I
Correct.
believe.
All right. What time of day do you leave? Do you go just that very day?
So we first need to figure out who's going.
Well, everybody.
So,
The team
Well,
sticks together.
Ow.
Except for the defensive team. We don't use the defensive team.
Well, some of us were spotted by the cops, so
It might be best if I, stay in the area, maybe in the van or something. But some of the residents of the tenant building kind of, they might have saw me. So no big deal or anything, but maybe I should stay in car.
yeah. And since at least one of the cops saw my face, I probably should stay with him unless we actually see a shark, because I was spotted by the cops. They probably are looking for me. So I'll stay in the car and out of sight.
We will be lookouts or the BT, whatever you want to call it.
The
The
defensive
varsity
team.
squad. Or the junior
Sure.
varsity squad.
Well, hold on now.
was
I'm
anyone
no
else
junior.
seen by anyone?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, not before. I mean, not unless they were, the giant bug creature or
Is there
the
another
living
one?
stone.
Oh,
No.
Right.
Do we
So
want
in
to
that
split up,
case-
or do we all want to go together? Like some people can go to the bar, and maybe some others can go to the.
Well, the problem
Pawn
is you
shop.
don't know
Splitting
if the bar
up
was
did.
just...
Yeah, splitting up
Go-
didn't also. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we don't actually know if the bar means anything. Now, it did pop up when Chuck did his search, but there's no definitive connection there yet. If we do want to explore that, I'm more than open to it, but
It's just like when I search for social media and how to get a following, how to be popular, MySpace turned up.
We need to upgrade you from Bang, apparently.
no, he
Wow.
clearly used Google.
There's others.
what search option did you use, man?
Netscape.
Wow.
What kind of computer do you have?
That's the university computers.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've been,
Netscape Navigator. You mean there's others?
There are,
Ah.
and we can teach you about them later.
Oh, I also found this amazing website. It's called The Big Red Button that does absolutely nothing.
That
All
sounds
right.
like it'll keep you entertained for a while.
It is awesome.
All right.
Anyways, we should not split up this time. It didn't really work left so well yesterday.
What do you mean? We got out. Everybody is fine.
I was about to say it actually worked out somewhat better because not all of us were seen by the police. So it's really a 50-50 shot here. I also think since the bar isn't at Miller Square, it'd be good for the people who were seen
But
to go
let's stick together.
stick together then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the team shouldn't be like
Okay.
in different places. It's
Yeah, it
weird
seems
to
like
run
it's
offense and
always a bad
defense at the
thing
same
that
time.
happens. Yeah.
Is that producer talking or is that Chuck talking?
That's Chuck. I said it's
Okay.
weird to run
Okay.
offense
Yeah.
and defense at the same time.
You got to listen for the sports references.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the key. Then yes, we should go to the pawn shop. Vicky, Abrahm, I think you should both stay in the van. The four of us will go in. I have an excuse. I can say, like, I dropped my pen last afternoon. Did anyone come here to pawn it? I can prove it's mine, just in case.
This
'Cause-
sounds good to me.
I'll see if they've got any sports memorabilia. Is
They
anyone got
might.
any money?
I mean, yes, I do.
So it's
But-
on you. Awesome.
I'm not letting you buy things. You
Yeah,
can
you
buy
are.
that.
That's how it works.
Really isn't.
It is. I play sports. People buy stuff for me.
Hmm.
Well, not these people. We're not your
But-
fans. Wait, crew.
I bought the pizza last time. That's what I bought you.
Yeah, that's pretty fair, actually.
But they gave it to us.
It was free, so
I did offer to
and
buy it.
We
and
gave you the
so
money back, and
then- Chuck, you have $20 you can spend there. I will put that pizza money I got back towards $20 for you to buy something.
Awesome.
You are way too. You realize you fell for it, right? They're gonna mooch you.
Wait, do you work for the university?
I do. I'm a professor.
Can't
Then
do it.
you get nothing. I'm sorry,
Crap,
but yes.
crap.
well, you can give it to me. You can give that money to me.
No.
Yeah, we can find loopholes.
But I mean, it's the same. We're a team. We're all together.
Yes.
I'm gonna wait in the
you can-
van.
Yes, you two wait in the van.
This sounds good
The
to
four
me.
of us will go in. You
Boom.
three, while I talk to the cash person, I don't know what you call someone who who's behind the register at a pawn shop. I'm not sure.
Broker.
Pawnbroker.
Broker. Then I'll speak to the broker. You three take a look around the place, see if you find anything suspicious, or if you see anyone who's like obviously guarding some back room or something, I guess. And we will see what we can find out.
And pizza?
Afterward, sure.
Ooh, the pizza place is just right down the street from there.
They probably won't let you two, probably all three of you in, and I point to Zeke, and Chuck. If I remember correctly, they didn't like you very much.
Hey, I barely said anything.
We got
to
free
them.
pizza, so
You were kicked out of there and given free pizza to make sure you stayed out.
If you see the pizza maker, like the kid behind, if you're able to talk to him, I think he knows something. He might be willing to talk. The owner knows something, but he's not going to talk.
I think they all know something.
And
I'm
we
sure
all,
most
and I, what they know is that they're being extorted by the mob. They are. Yes, I said this last night before we all went home. The whole square is being.
Was that when I was on
Counted-
MySpace? I wasn't listening.
No, but it's fine. Yes, most likely many people in the square owe money to the mob. That's most likely what's going on.
Well, they shouldn't
that's why
borrow
the
money
pe-
from them.
By the
That's
way,
why
we
the
have
pizza
plan. Let us go.
Yeah.
all right,
Yes,
let's go to the
exactly.
pawn shop. Let's see what's
Zeke.
going on.
Pull the van around.
It is becoming quite the catchphrase of yours, eh?
Shotgun.
Well, shit,
Oh.
can only-
people gotta
you
start
only-
tipping me.
Oh.
Oh,
You have to be quicker than that, Chuck.
that's mean.
It was bound to happen.
What time
gotta
of day
start
do you
tipping me
decide
for
to get
this.
to go there?
So I'm going to, based on since we met up like mid-afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock we're heading over. That seems about right.
You make your way over
Sounds good.
in the late afternoon back to Miller Square. It is just as dreary and rainy and cold as before. Miller Square is bustling this time of day. People running around, coming in and out of the shops, except for, of course, the one-stop shop that's still police taped up, and of course there's another store off that's also sort of closed. It was a hair salon, I think.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's not why you were here this time. You approach this. You park the van outside the store marked Second Chance Pawnbrokers. It looks like a dive, really. It sort of doesn't look like it's hard to believe anybody would go in there to do business. It must be only the most desperate of people who engage with this particular shop. It's run down. The windows are barred up. It does look like there is a dim light inside.
Yeah, I open the door.
Okay. And who's going with you? Anybody?
I am.
Okay. All right. Good. So you open the
You and
door.
Zeke, right? Is Zeke going in, or is he staying in
I'll
the
go
van?
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Corvus, do Zeke, and Chuck. All right, all four of you. But Corvus opens the door first, and there's it's a pretty small shop, and again, it looks just like you would have expected, very dusty. Inside, you find yourself beset from every direction by dust-gathering memorabilia, antiques, and other personal prized possessions. A long glass counter lines the back, twinkling with precious memories sold by people with no other choice. You notice two older gentlemen behind the glass case. One of them is a little bit taller, balding. The other one's shorter, a little bit younger. And the taller, older one says, "Well, what do we have here? Welcome, I guess." And I'm going to, as a matter of mechanics, when you enter in there, well, one, I'm going to give you a flavor. When you walk in there, all four of you walk in there, you feel welcome, actually. Suddenly, like, the things that just a second ago appeared dingy and sort of useless trash now pique your interest. Some of these things seem like, boy, I could probably use that grandfather clock that's in the corner that looks, it's broken, but I could probably shine it up, or
Just give it to Do. Do can fix
Duke can
anything.
fix it.
Jewelry. And
Yeah,
so
you can turn a profit.
we will say, I'm going to put the story tag in play. It's called Suggestive Atmosphere.
Okay.
While me and Abram is right. Abram's the other one who was sitting in the van, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure because second. I'll just sort of say, can't help but feel a little bit nervous leading those four in there. Corvus, not so much, but dang, they are. They tend to get off track.
Corvus is, he has been instructor for a good while. He knows what he's doing. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine.
All right, yeah, like I sort of like lean back low in the chair so like nobody can see me in the windows.
Yeah,
I
was
think
gonna say,
Abram is
Ricky's
kind of...
just
Go ahead.
sitting there in the van, but it sounds like you're trying to lay low. Okay.
Yeah. Abram is sitting kind of in the back of the van is where he would have got in. And I think he's just like twirling his finger, and there's just this small little wisp of wind that kind of is circulating his wrist and his finger, kind of playing with it.
Okay. And so Corvus, you were the first one in. We'll start with you. The spotlight moves on to you. What do you do?
Yeah, Corvus, looks around, like sees like the shop kind of brighten up. But he's, once again, he has the ability to focus on the task at hand, and he knows what he's here to do, which is to essentially distract these two owners so the other two can the other three can kind of take a look around, see what there is to see, which maybe works, maybe doesn't. So Corvus just approaches the counter. It's like, hi, my name is Corvus. This is going to sound a little bit weird, but I lost a pen here, I believe yesterday afternoon. Not in this shop, mind you, just in Miller Square. It was a gift from my father. A Parker 51 ballpoint pen, plum colored, has an engraving has my name on it. Did anyone come in here and attempt to pawn it by any chance?
The older person engages you, looks right at you. Well, what a fine, distinguished person coming to our store here. You are obviously a distinguished, or a person with good taste. And why I am sad to hear that you have lost your prized possession, but fear not, my friend. We have a large selection of collector pens right here. And he directs you to a place in the glass case where, sure enough, there are many pens of different types, some old, some new. There's like a Bic pen that's plastic. It's a little bit chewed up, but that catches your eye for some reason. you know what? I've always wanted a crappy pen, you say to yourself. And so while this is going on, what do you do? What are you doing at this time?
Do went straight for that grandfather clock. That's just what she's narrowed in on. She noticed it was broken, so she went up to it and she's like, I wonder if this takes me to Fillory. And is looking at the clock to see if she can fix it, like what's wrong with it, how can she fix it.
Okay.
So
Do buy it, then fix it. Don't fix it, then buy it, because the price goes up.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
the laundry
yeah,
mat?
you're right. But I don't know. I just feel like I really am drawn to this clock. I don't know if it's the atmosphere or what, but I just feel this compulsion to come to the clock.
Okay, so you're at the clock. We'll do some rolling in a second. I just want to set the scene. Zeke, the spotlight moves to you.
I imagine, since it is a pawn shop, there's probably quite a few guitars that got pawned, like electric guitars, and if people are suddenly being drawn to things, I imagine that's what catches his eye. And he looks at one and he's like, yeah, this is like a shitty guitar, but it reminds me of my shitty guitar. He's just like, maybe I could actually do it this time.
Nice. Chuck?
I'm all about those sports. Go local sports scene. So it's just
All right, well,
whatever there's memorabilia, I'm going to try to convince anyone else to buy it for me.
well, there's a football there. It's actually, it's on a stand. It's a little bit worn, but it has a signature on it, and it happens to be a signature of a, very sort of third-rate, not very memorable player. But that
I got a
player did
feeling
go
that
to
that
your
doesn't
college
matter.
many years ago, and I don't know, for some reason you're like, I think Joe Tennessee was underrated, very underrated quarterback. Yeah, he only played one season, and yeah, he threw 2 touchdown passes, but 27 interceptions. I feel like he would have gone pro though, and maybe I should get this ball.
Well, maybe someone else should get that ball for me, I think. But yes.
All right. Okay, so meanwhile, out in the van, the two of you are waiting, and you happen to notice that, Victoria specifically notices a couple of those gangster types, underworld enforcers, are hanging out there in Miller Square, just about 3 of them standing around, similar to how you saw them the few days ago, just perhaps looking to see if business is going as normal. So we cut back into the pawnbrokers. We're at Corvus is now talking to the older looking gentleman, although there is also the shorter, sort of more plump other person behind there. What would you like to do specifically? Would you like to investigate, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think in this case, I'm going to investigate a little bit. So basically what I'm going to try and play up is while I do really like the selection here, I'm a bit worried. I do hear that sometimes, some less than reputable people come here and may pawn things. I want to make sure I'm not buying anything stolen. So basically I'm trying to get them to indirectly kind of spill the beans about how much stolen stuff is here, kind of the criminal stuff going on. I'm not asking directly. It's just kind of indirect. I want to make sure, if I were to buy something from these people, I want to make sure that the police aren't going to come knocking on my door about it a week from now because someone reported it stolen.
Okay. All right. So you can roll investigate.
All right. So I do have a couple tags here that I want to pull up. So I am asking something that would usually make people nervous. So I want to use calming presence to make them remain calm while I ask them about these things. Because obviously, if someone starts asking about stolen merchandise, that's a nervous thing to start going through.
Okay.
I'd also like to do kind of able to stay focused on the task at hand. Like, I know they're obviously trying to sell me on these things. I don't want to buy anything from these people. I am trying to kind of convince them I'm a buyer without actually buying anything. So I want to use able to stay focused on the task at hand and how to read a person. Like, these are salespeople. I am playing up that I am a potential customer, but they have to sell me on what they're doing here.
Okay.
And then, just because I have it, I'm going to use one of my donation dice.
Was that plus 72 or something?
That is +4 total.
Okay, all right. Let's see it.
All right, so this should, and we're doing investigate.
Yep. Oh, look at that! You barely got the great success, but you still got it.
Yeah.
All right, you get 4 clues. Wow. Okay. You can ask. Let us have a discussion with the folks behind there. In fact, well, go ahead.
Yeah. It's like, listen, these are very nice pens, especially that one Bic there, but I will be honest with you, I've heard some rumors about some shady dealings going on in this area. I want to make sure that anything I buy here, the police aren't going to come knocking on my door a week later reporting it as stolen. Is that something I have to worry about if I buy it here?
They both laugh uproariously. Oh, of course, there's nothing stolen. You immediately know this is a complete lie. Oh, by the way, sorry, I should have invoked the suggestive atmosphere tag, but we'll let that one slide. We are legitimate business people, me and my brother here. By the way, I do like the cut of your jib. I'm Lyle. This is my brother Dwight. We run this pawnbroker, and I'll tell you what we do. We're legitimate business people, and we take pride in helping others at Miller Square meet their financial needs. Perhaps you yourself have financial needs, do you not?
No, actually, I'm not independently wealthy, but I am doing well for myself, thankfully.
Clearly. Anyway, I'm enjoying this conversation. Perhaps you have 3 other questions to ask me.
Yeah, so how long have you been in Miller Square?
Oh, well, me and my brother here, we haven't been here too long. You could say that, we've been here a while, but business has picked up rather recently. We've sort of become, I don't know, connected, if you will, to other sources of funding and business opportunities. You immediately know he's talking about organized crime.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, I'm glad to hear that you're starting up and you're doing so well.
I might be saying too much, but our new business partners make a very compelling case for the people who owe us money to pay us. Business is good.
No one likes to get calls from debt collectors.
That's right. Calls.
Wink, wink.
They're laughing at each other. Yeah, calls. Put me on your do not call list. Am I right? Yeah. Oh, anyway, sorry. You have another question?
Yes. Now, this isn't related to the shop itself, but the business, I did see when we were passing by the Stop and Go, when I was here an afternoon ago, I did see a lot of police presence. We heard there was a suicide. Is there anyone left behind who...
There was a big suicide, right? Okay, all right. So okay, all right. Like we said, stuff happens around here now. Now I know. Well, we're just a couple of pawn shop owners, but sometimes, you know what I was saying before about our friends who help us collect our bills? Well, I probably shouldn't be telling you this. They can sort of assist with people who don't pay in a certain way. So, we can cut you a good deal, but if you don't pay, you might feel very, very sad one day. And you know what happens when you're sad, right? Anyway, sorry. We don't want to talk about this.
I understand
awful
entirely.
affairs. Can I interest you in one of my designer pens here. Perhaps you over there, young lady, working on that grandfather clock of ours. You can see that Dwight, the shorter, younger one, runs over to you and says, "What? I see you might be interested in this fine clock now." Now
It's
it has
so vintage.
the thing that makes it very useful is that it provides you the correct time 2 times every day. And you're like, wow, that's pretty good.
All right. I mean, because the hands don't move. I mean, what kind of deal would you cut me if I fix this?
Oh, well, I don't know. We don't.
Would you
really
would you
have a
trade
hard
in
time-
information?
We don't really have a hard time selling our stuff here, but you know what? I'll tell you what. If you can fix this clock, I think, well, perhaps you could do other things to help us. Maybe we're always looking for assistance. You seem like a smart young lady. Perhaps you could join us. Be an apprentice, if you will. These people seem very forward. They seem like, like this is a weird conversation to have with somebody who has never really talked to you before. So, you notice that they are very, like, sort of overconfident. They're sort of, it's almost if they're on something. But having said that, you kind of feel falling for it a little bit here. In fact, I'm going to give you a status called Too Trusting 2. Boom, it just comes up. Too trusting.
Too trusting.
Yeah, just 2. A little bit. You're compelled now. You want to fix this this clock, but go ahead.
Oh, no finish. But what?
Oh, I was gonna say, but you might still be able to strike a deal with them.
Yeah, so I think if I'm just imagining her in this atmosphere. It's like this haziness. And now she's kind of, she sees someone recognizes her ability, or she feels like flattered by that, because people are often discounting her because she's young or because she's a woman. So she's like, yeah, like what kind of perks are involved in an apprenticeship? Like, what are you thinking I would do?
Well, if you can fix some of this stuff, that would be great. But I really feel like, we have this boss, that really kind of helps us maybe get through the business. And, this boss needs some stuff fixed. He needs a real, like, handy person. So I feel like if you're able to this clock, we I don't know if we're asking too much, but we'd like it to be right all the time, or at least most of the time. If you can do that, we might be able to recommend you to go hang out with our the boss has a little bit of a, call it an equipment problem down at their local bar down there, and some tells me they might be able to use somebody as knowledgeable as you to fix the equipment problem.
So really quickly, I did have one last question.
Yeah.
Got 4. So it's like, oh, well, who's your boss?
I see. Well, I think it would be telling you too much, to sort of give away the name. But I'll tell you what. You think we have? You think we're good at sales? Tell them about Honeylip. What? What do you? Well, our boss, we nicknamed him Honeylip because he's got the lips of an angel and not a bee. It doesn't really make sense, but they're sweet. He can make you do anything. Now we're like this of our own free will. We're free thinkers. He doesn't like make us do anything, but he can make anybody do anything. He's kind of like highly important to, but I didn't tell you that here. We are moving up. We are moving up in the business.
So
Your
if
lips to God's ears.
If I can fix this clock, you'll introduce me to Honeylip?
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying now. I can't
Yeah.
guarantee, that'll hire you, but you'd have our word for it. You'd have our good word. And Honeylip, I'm gonna be honest with you, Honeylip thinks we're amazing. Me and Lyle here. Shut up. We're amazing anyway. Well, anyway, we're amazing, right? And look at our stuff. Anyway, yeah, you can fix that up. We'll refer you to Honeylip.
All right. So, she's going to try to fix it. She's going to use her mech engineer toolkit, and she's also going to look up a TikTok tutorial, and I think that's it. So this too trusting, does it work against her in this sense?
I don't even think it applies here because you're just trying to fix the clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does not apply.
Okay. So I'm just going to add that. And so this is a change the game?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's a broken clock. You want to fix it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You did it. So
So
you rolled.
looks like the 2 trusting still took out 2 on this roll because I'm looking at it here. So that should actually be a 10.
No, I added a +2.
Okay.
Or does that
yeah,
take away from the power?
It takes away from the power. Like if you select your
okay.
powers, the 2 trusting would, because it's a status of 2, take away from it.
Got it. Yeah, it should be 2 power. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, you got a 10, which means you can do more than what's on there, more than what it says. So in addition, you get 2 juice, of course, but and you can also scale up the effect, prolong the effect, hide the effect, or any other improvement that you agree on. You and the MC.
So I would like to do where I fix the clock.
Okay.
And I want to so does it do anything if I just like burn the suggestive atmosphere story tag?
What I would
For
do,
me?
well, what I would do is because you want to fix the clock in a way that it's not going to break again immediately. So, you're going to want to at least, I think what you're going to do is create a story tag and then prolong the effects, like make it an ongoing story tag. So the clock continues to work. So that would be, so you'd be like, clock fixer is your story tag, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose something else if you like.
Sure.
And then it'll be an ongoing.
All right.
Okay, so you're working on the clock. Zeke, what are you up to?
I imagine Zeke's probably just, he's trying to like keep an eye on them to make sure like nothing's happening to him, but he's also like messing around with one of the guitars and stuff, and he's probably like playing with the strings. Maybe one of them's broken, so he's got to figure out how to work around that. But yeah, he's probably trying to keep an eye and make sure like there's no sudden moves against Corvus or Do.
Do you like that guitar, sir? It does suit you very much. Now I know it has only 3 strings, but who needs the other 3 anyway? If you're good enough playing the guitar, I always say, so does my brother. Yep, I always say it.
Well, I mean, I guess I do have some spare guitar string left over from better days, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So you're keeping watch, ready to act when something happens. All right, what are you up to, Chuck?
I'm just going to keep watch.
Okay.
As much as I want to buy anything here, I have no money. no one from the university is allowed to give me money, and no one else has money. So I'm just like, screw this. I'll just keep watch for the offense coming in.
You good folks are from the university, huh? You all seem like a motley crew to us. Kind of strange group to be hanging out together.
Well, we're all part of an after-school program, club,
Really?
if you will. Mhm.
Really?
Yeah. So, and of course, we had a meeting. I figured out I was missing my pen, so it just kind of led us down here. So.
Well, okay. What?
And they won't buy me anything.
We don't.
Oh, we can't buy you anything.
We don't mean to be rude, but we don't get everybody coming from the university here that much. No, we sure don't.
Do you like sports?
Well, what's your club about? Just making friendly conversation, but what do you club? Like, what's the purpose?
Well, we need a coach. I know that.
Never mind him. Everything's about sports with him. I mean,
Not everything. It's not everything. It's
Name one
just
MySpace.
All right.
exactly MySpace. Found my fan page.
it was
It's like a
about
community
sports.
service club in a way.
But it's about the community. Exactly. It's about the community that like me.
You're not, you're not around, you're not, it's not some sort of, it's not some sort of, well, what are you saying? You're about sports? This is a sporting club?
Well,
No,
I'm about sports.
He is about sports. We're more about doing services in the community. A lot of it happens around campus.
Do
obviously,
fixes a lot of stuff.
This is in the community, huh?
Yeah, Do fixes everything. You got anything?
Do is-
Look,
yeah.
she's working on your clock now.
Yeah, Do is our primary fixer, so a lot of things that happen around campus that need fixing, Do will just handle it, and it's part of the club activities.
Yeah, dude, you think you could fix up this guitar?
But she's so focused on the clock. She's like, oh yeah.
But
hey."
isn't a 3-string guitar like rarer and like better because it's only got 3 strings? Isn't that how it works?
I would like one of you to, and I think it's going to be Chuck. I need one of you to roll sneak around because, you're not, your answer is sparking some interest, right? It's not like they get people from the university here every day, particularly a group as varied as you. And, they want to sell you things, but they do work with organized crime, so they're going to be watching you.
As in, is this for the conversation or is this for the?
No, you're gonna have to roll. You're gonna have to roll.
Well, that's what I'm asking if it's for the conversation. Like, is this the
To know
yeah,
which
yeah.
tags.
specifically about
the conversation? Like
that's
they're,
all I'm asking. Yeah.
they wanted to make you comfortable,
Yeah.
but they also want to make sure, particularly because they're also telling you that they're criminals, basically, without telling you. But they want to make sure that you're not one of those,
Exactly what we are.
clubs or whatever, like some kind of whatever sleuths or something, like big.
Make
brain.
sure that those very common Scooby-Doo gangs around the
Yeah,
city.
right. Yeah. Well,
Those meddling kids.
Mm.
Well, I've got one tag which is about my essentially about me talking sports, and that's a sense of belonging with sports, and that's the only thing I can tick in this. But at the same time, my sense to prove everything is going to be my weakness. So rolling blank. Let's sneak around. Let's go.
Okay, now I'm gonna. The suggestive atmosphere is gonna also cost you 1, and that'll turn
Oh,
the
that's
mild success
6.
into a miss. Perfect. So, what happens is they don't imagine. Lyle is talking to you, right? And you think you're making a good case. Lyle says, "Well, yep." It does look like you're all sporting club or whatever you were saying. We 100% believe it. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go talk to my brother for a minute here. And, we're going to we're gonna make you an offer that you can't refuse, if you know what I mean. So,
You got connections to the big league?
yes, we do, and that's who we're gonna call right now. And so you can see Dwight picks up the phone, or he doesn't pick up the phone. He starts pulling out his phone and texts.
So while he's doing
Do you
that,
need my MySpace page?
so a lot of things can die, including electronics.
No. Ooh, okay. All right.
So I would like to use Aura of Death, and also like make it very clear that them calling someone about us would be very bad. Like, oh, you don't want to call anyone about us. So I would like to also use Put the Fear of Death into them, because I want to make it very clear that if they call us, things will escalate to a point where they probably won't be happy.
Okay, so I don't know that you're going to have time to like stop this from happening, right? Because again, they're being a little bit sneaky. It's not fully obvious that they're onto you, right? They're a little bit like coy about it. I don't know if you're noticing specifically. If you're saying you're going to notice,
I have how to read a person. I can clearly tell they're going to be doing something.
If you want, I could have continued my overreaction to them calling someone. I just didn't want to do it on screen.
Resolve whether or not you can interrupt this particular, because what I'm essentially doing is I'm making a hard move, but I'm going to let you. I'm going to see if I can, if you can stop it somehow. So. Sure. It's gonna have to be take the risk is what you're gonna do, because it's you have only split seconds to do something.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I'll also use the last donation dice. This is at a +3.
I forgot to do that.
Yeah. I'm using them, so that way I don't have to remember them later. All right. So
I look at the overlay, and I need to update that.
So we're doing take the risk.
Yes.
You got a 9. Things get messy.
All right, so things get messy. So here are your choices, right? In this moment, you can all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, Chuck blew our cover again. And you can let them just text and not stop it. In which case that somebody will probably come rather imminently, or you can stop the message from happening, but when that your actions will result in, let's see, you will have to think of something good. You're going to instead create a sort of a loud enough or a bright enough effect. I don't exactly know what you're going to do. Could you describe what you're going to do again?
Sure. So originally what this is I was going to just drain the battery dead.
Okay.
But I think if we're going for the extreme thing, I think the phone explodes in his hand.
Okay. All right. So,
or like the battery overheats and explodes. Something that is more catastrophic than just your battery goes dead, so now you can't text.
Okay. So like you can either just take a basic fail, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing bad will happen except for that like bad stuff is coming, or you can stop the thing from happening, but the phone will just sort of melt right there, but your cover will be completely blown, and you'll have to there's no more like nice stuff between you and these two people. No more Mr. Nice Guy stuff.
So either way, the cover is blown. Yeah, I think because if we can essentially either convince slash threaten slash knock out these guys so they can't report to their boss that we're coming, I think that's still better for us.
Yeah.
So I think we have to make the loud of melting the phone in his hand.
Okay. So you do this action. You can see them kind of looking at each other. Somebody pulls out the phone, but then it burns or it just melts and it's like, ah! Both of them immediately or they go to draw their, it's clear that they have a gun somewhere in their pocket, right? They're like shady organized crime people, and they go to draw their gun, and who does what? Somebody just, okay, you're not doing anything, Corvus. You're too busy casting something. Chuck might have something to do. Chuck says, what are you going to do? The spotlight's on you.
Pull out the signed autographed bat off the stand, baseball bat, and then essentially pull the bat off the stand and going, oh, I get to play some baseball today. I'd put that down before things get broken.
Okay, that's going to, you're going to have to roll convince.
That's on both. A couple tags. The more the merrier. Because there's two. I'm not caring if they shoot me right now, so I'm ignoring Payne. Because at the moment, if they shoot me, they shoot me.
Well, you're not in.
Well, I'm not in Payne, so I won't do it. Yeah, you're right. And I've got a weakness there, which is, I'll speak about in a moment. There's another weakness I don't care about in the moment. And we're going to add another, the plus from chat. So, weaknesses. Foolhardy gets me into trouble. Yep, whoops. I no longer care about personal property. Whoops. And I think I act first, which is one of the bonuses I'm using as well. There's a few things there.
Okay, so you can invoke one of those weakness tags. I mean, you have
one.
A few that will, yeah.
I
don't know. Do the rules say you can invoke more than one? I've just never heard of that.
Oh, I'm just doing one then. Okay. I know the rules as much as everybody else. So I've got more the merrier, ultimate fighter, and act first, and I got one weakness of I no longer care about personal property, and I've got the chat plus.
Okay.
And which one am I doing? Face danger or convince?
Convince. Because you're trying to threaten them, right? You're trying to get them to not.
That's an 11.
All right. So let's see.
I only roll well, and I don't have to burn stuff.
Okay, so choose a relevant status of tier equals 3.
Any suggestions, team?
You can, intimidated 3 would be a good one. Like, if they know if they continue this, they're probably going to lose the fight.
Good.
All right, so let's see. So if you, who are you threatening directly? Because there's one, there's only one person that's closer than the other person. You know what I mean? Like let's say Lyle is within, the bat.
The one with the gun is the intimidation. Even if the one without the gun is the one that's closer.
Both going for a gun. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
The closer of the two.
Okay. All right. So Lyle. We'll say that's Lyle. The sort of a taller. Let's say that's Dwight, the sort of shorter, like more like younger looking person. He's going to take now intimidated 3. And we'll say because, the like aura of persuasion is gone, I'm going to burn I'm going to reduce Donatella's too trusting I'm going to take that away, your too trusting 2 status, and also I'm going to remove the suggestive atmosphere tag. It doesn't somehow all of a sudden to everyone, the real truth is revealed suddenly when the veneer drops. You can see again how dingy and awful the store is, and you wonder why. It's almost gross that you're touching any of this crap, and you know that these people aren't so nice after all. But Dwight yields. He is not going. He like holds his hands up, but in this melee, Lyle could still go for his gun, right? But you know, this is happening all simultaneously. So like, what does Zeke is specifically watching out for something to happen. So like, you have a jump on this gun. I don't think Do does, because she's too busy, you know, tinkering around. It's going to take a second. I think you can act before the gun is fired.
All right, I am going to. Okay, I probably see him like reaching for his gun, and then I look over at him. You know, I see that Chuck's already got this one. You know, I see his hands go up in the air, like, okay, I'm not doing it. But I see the other one in the back, and I'm just like, I wouldn't think about that if I were you. And I imagine like all of this junk that they're trying to sell. I've been to a pawn shop before, and I've seen that they have like weightlifting equipment and stuff, and I want to like try to like intimidate. I want to grab it and I want to snap it in half, and I'm just gonna be like, I wouldn't think about that if I were you. Trying to intimidate him, like it can end real bad, real quick.
Okay, you're rolling okay. You're rolling convince.
Convince. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm using my inhuman strength. Since I'm looking right at him, I'm gonna go with my terrifying gaze.
Okay.
With Z. Holding my own in a fight. I imagine I probably look like I could hold my own in a fight if I'm trying to do, you know, scariness. And I want to use my my
donation dice.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Okay.
All right. Mild success.
Okay, mild success. That is so they can give in a little but protect their own interests. So here's what happens. They Dwight's already given up. Lyle, he hesitates, right?
Or they have to decide.
Yeah. But instead of yielding, he starts running toward the back of the store. He's going to make a break for it. He doesn't want to get caught. So he's protecting his own interest. Now, all of a sudden, you're sort of, whoa, what am I doing here? This is going on. What? You know, like, now you see someone with their hand up. You turn around from your tinkering. You see somebody with their hands up. You see Dwight with his hands up saying, you know, don't hit me. You see Lyle heading toward the back of the store, presumably to some kind of exit. What do?
So I run towards Lyle, and she has like a small sleep dart gun in her bracelet. It's like these splinters that it doesn't make people fall asleep because it's so small. It like can slow them down. So she's running after them, and it's like, stop, or I'll shoot. And so that would be a.
So you're trying to tell them to stop, or they'll. Okay, well, you're gonna shoot them with what? Because I'm trying to figure out if it's a convince or you're trying to like fool them into something. Because like it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if they would be. You know, like this guy is not even looking at you really. He's just.
Yeah, he's not stopping. So she's gonna shoot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just gonna shoot, which would be, you know, hit with all you got. You got a clear shot.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Okay,
All
so
right.
power. Okay, so you have power of 2. You have a minimum of 2 juice you can spend on those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll just do 2 of some kind of sedation, like she fires it at him to try to get him to slow down so she can catch up to him.
Okay, so let's see. All right, you fire, and the dart hits right in the neck, right? Okay, so you can do a couple of things, right? You give the target an appropriate status with a tier of 2, and I assume you want to be like tranquilized 2, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll write this down somewhere. I'll remember it. And then you can choose the 2. You can take cover, secure a superior position. You can get them good to make it tranquilized 3. You can get more of them. Probably doesn't really matter. Control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention if possible, or you gain the upper hand.
Yeah, so I'll just get the target's attention. So I imagine that when he gets hit in the neck, he spins around and sees, who did it. Because I want him to see also who did it. There's some kind of like thrill in that for her.
Okay.
So yeah, so I imagine that now he's like turned around and he might be facing me. I don't know if he stumbled or what, but
Okay, so he turns around and he's like, ugh! And then what do you do, right? I mean, he's now he's like screaming very loudly.
yeah, so I was like, I told you to stop. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. You didn't. It's actually kind of your fault that this is happening. So, but she's still going towards him and is like fishing around. Well, I guess her backpack's on her back, so she can't fish around on it. But she wants to try to restrain him before he leaves the store.
Okay, so he's like, screaming out in pain. You start to head toward him. Now he's a good distance away. You've kind of hit a good shot, so we're gonna go out to the van. All of a sudden you hear a very faint out there, and yes, what can I do for you?
No, I just did the Wilhelm scream.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I see. And you notice something's wrong. Like there's now a scream coming out of the pawn shop. Is there anything that you do?
So I think a few moments before that happened. Oh, go ahead.
Before I ask you what you want to do, you notice that those organized crime people look over at the pawn shop. They have heard some kind of faint emanation from there, the same one that you've heard.
Oh God, what did Chuck do now?
I think there would have been a few minutes
That was
before,
it.
they
That was
were in
it.
there
That was
for
in character, by the way.
Yeah. I think there's just some a sigh, and the back door kind of swings open, and I'll step out of the back door, kind of watching the thugs see if they move towards the pawn shop or not.
Okay.
Is there like? I know we're not gonna do maps or anything, but if you had to like our position, like what I want to basically do is like it. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to think of a best way to word this. Apologies. Is it possible for me to slip out of the van from one side without the crime guys noticing? I mean, they're looking
With
at
a
the pawn
successful sneak around, you can do that. That's why maps don't matter in this game. You can just find a move and make it work. I mean,
right.
they don't hurt like some people use them. I just never feel like they're necessary.
No, that's fine. I agree with you on that point. I just wanted to I wanted to know if I could do it without making a roll, since they're paying attention to the pawn shop.
Sorry. There is not gonna happen.
Nothing in this world is free.
No, that's not how this game. Well, I mean, it might be how the game works, but it's not how I'm ruling at this time. I gotta keep some action going.
All right. Well, I have no good tags for sneaking around, so screw that. I'll just I'll do it. I'll have to just do it the other way. But we can clearly see them from where we are, right? And they're so.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
keep.
you don't want them to notice you, is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
somebody coming out of a van, they're gonna.
Yeah, no.
That's their job, is to keep a lookout on the.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll just if right now they're just looking at the van, then I'm just going to.
I mean, they're mostly looking out the store, but I mean, they're gonna notice you at some point.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just sort of wait until. I'll just sort of but I'm just getting ready to use I've got a plan to keep the thugs at bay and if necessary, but right now I'm just keeping an eye, make sure that's not until I know it, until the right moment, essentially.
Okay. Flashback to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're fine.
Go ahead. Abram. No.
I think
Please do.
Abram is at the back of the van, and he's kind of been contemplating in his head, all right, we know these guys are doing something, but what are we going to do to them? Are we going to fight them? Are we going to stop them? How are we going to go about that? And I think while he's kind of internally thinking about that, the idea of just protecting his friends comes over his mind, and he begins to do a little tap of his feet, and I would like to just prepare kind of like a gust of wind in case.
Okay.
I think he's just doing that narratively.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I guess since we're both in the van together, you would probably see more like Vicky sort of like shimmering a bit, and like maybe like the starting like parts of her her magic suit of armor starting to form on slowly around her, like sort of in the sense of I'm getting ready to fight too if it comes down to it.
Okay. All right. So you have time to prepare a little bit. You're now paying attention, so nothing is going to happen that you don't see. And we cut to go back inside the pawn shop where Dew has attacked somebody, and he has screamed out. Lyle has screamed out in pain, but he's still staggering out toward the back. Let's say the spotlight's going to move to Corvus. In this wonderful moment, what do you do?
So I can see it's Lyle who's heading for the back door, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And I can see him from where I am?
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a lot of things here that can just stop someone without doing something to them, so yeah. I would like to hit him with all I got, and I would like to age him to the point where it's hard for him to walk.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, not the hip.
Do it.
All right. So Aura of Death still applies, I feel. I'm also going to make this so aging things is a bit hard for me to control, so I'm also going to do my weakness tag for Cold Air of Death comes for all. So if this fails, a lot of things in this area are going to start aging.
Oh no, okay. All right.
Yep.
That's
And
going to change the poll.
And I think I'm going to yell, "Stop, or else you won't be able to walk anymore." And I would like to put the fear of death into them again.
Okay. All right.
So essentially, I'm essentially just rolling with a +1 because my weakness cancels out. So it was all you got.
You may want to vote in the poll before this result comes through, because that'll change things.
10.
Yeah, you did it.
I'm good.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to do. My status of 1 is now he's aged. If it was going to be so I'm going to then bump that up to a status of 2. So basically, he starts aging rapidly.
Okay.
So, and I'm also going to do. you take cover, or actually, I don't really care about that because I don't think he's going to be
No,
able to
you
hit me
don't that,
back.
but you might want to control the collateral damage.
Yeah, I am going to control the collateral damage so that, like, at first the aura just exits around me, and in a brief moment, like, everyone starts to feel like a bit sluggish. They're like slightly wrinkly more than they were. Like, they see their hands. That quickly vanishes, and then it all just focuses on Lyle heading for the door.
Okay, so Lyle is already stricken, and he's walking to the door, and all of a sudden you can see like his skin starts to turn like wrinkly. His legs start to become skinnier and skinnier right before your eyes, and one of them snaps like a twig, and you can hear it. He crashes down to the floor, and he's like, "Oh, I think they're like honey lip." And he is, he's out cold now, probably from a combination of just pain and also the tranquilizer. Probably
Also, old people generally are just tired. Old people,
right? Yeah. And also it's 7:00. It's time for bed. So Dwight says, "Who are you for real?" What do you do? Okay, so let's move back to Do. Do, now you see like you've got some help. What do you do?
Well, Do is visibly shaken because she was also affected by this, even if it was briefly, and then seeing what happened right in front of her. So she's not going to answer what he said. I think she was more going to make sure that. So where is Corvus at? Is he like near me?
I'm behind the counter, so if he was in like the back hallway, you could probably still see me just standing there. Like, I have a finger pointed at him, and that you can guess closer, that I did this.
Yeah.
Okay, so she turns around and she sees that it's Corvus that's done this, and it really, really shakes her. And so she goes, I think she would just like kind of bend down just to make sure he isn't dead, and check, just be like, hey, is checking for like a pulse, or just trying to like see.
You feel a pulse.
What's going on? Okay.
But, yeah.
It's faint. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
as long as the Mothman doesn't look into his future again, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, that was an accident.
It doesn't feel like, particularly faint. It feels like he's like really just knocked out, and he's clearly got a broken leg.
So I'm like, all right, hey y'all, so he's still alive. I think his leg might be broken. I'm not sure, where we should go from here, but I think we should definitely, get out of here soon.
Okay. Zeke, what are you doing at this very moment?
All right. Did it sound like loud to me, the ruckus back there of them trying to get the other guy?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
right.
this is loud.
Then yeah, I'm just going to look at who's the one that has like his hands up. That's like
that's Dwight.
Okay. Yeah, Dwight. I'm going to grab his shoulder entirely too roughly, and I'm gonna like make him look at me and just be like, now, if anyone comes in here, we're gonna hide, and you're gonna tell them that everything's okay, right? Like, and he gives like just a look like, I'm really not afraid to hurt you.
Okay. Roll convince.
All right.
Can I petition that gets my bonuses against him? His conditions about being intimidated.
Yeah, he is intimidated 3. So does that give like a bonus to Zeke in intimidation?
Absolutely, it does, because it's a status that that applies to Dwight. Intimidated 3.
So I add 3 to my plus.
Yeah, you add 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy's gonna do whatever you say, unless
Unless you roll 2 1s.
Oh, there's a 9.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can you put a tier 4 status on them, right? Which is
Scared shitless.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll say scared shitless 4. And you know that they aren't going to talk about you. They don't want this, or at least he doesn't want this. And so let's see, what else can you do? Your target can choose either to take the status or change the agenda to yours, at least for the time being. So they're going to change their agenda to yours by saying, okay, fine, we won't. But what about my brother right there? You did you kill him? They're going to see that.
I just look up to Do and I'm like, he's not dead. Like, I'm not gonna tell him.
Look at his leg. I mean,
he's alive.
People survive broken legs all the time. Stop being so.
He's fine.
It could be your skull.
All right, Chuck. Do you want to do anything at this fine moment of victory, or at least temporary victory?
Get any piece of cloth or like any rag that they don't wipe up the place, of course, because there's dust everywhere, but any rag that they've got, use that to just take his gun away. I don't want to touch it myself, but because he does still have his gun.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
And then go to the other one and do the same thing.
All right.
Okay. And then
good thinking.
Smash.
Yeah, not bad.
I was smashing works perfectly. I was going to rust them until they were no longer functional, but smashing works just as well.
No, just the bat. Yeah.
So I turned to Dwight, who's the man who's not unconscious here. You're going to tell whoever you work for, Honeylip, his goons, I don't really care. Your brother fell in the back. He broke his leg. You're going to take him to the hospital. It was an accident. And we were just customers if they ask.
He fell down the stairs. Fine, just leave. Just get out of here. You freaks. You know what? Delia's coming for you. Delia's gonna come for you.
Oh, who's Delia?
Who?
We cut right there, and we go back out to the van. Now, it appears that the thugs out there, your friends have time to leave without the thugs intervening, but if you don't act now, they might actually run into further trouble. They might be caught right there. You see the thugs sort of going toward the pawnbrokers.
So I think Abrahm has been kind of contemplating on the opportunities he has here, and kind of behind the van, he is just he's doing that little 2-step, and then he does a quick twirl, and when he pushes his hand kind of parallel to the sidewalk street, I want to conjure up these gale force winds that if they were to try to rush towards the pawn shop, they would be kind of battling against those winds.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be change the game. So you want to make them slowed somehow. So roll change the game.
Yes. All right. So gale force winds and overwhelm their senses. Do you feel like that's a proper one? Because it'd be hard for them to hear or move against.
Are great.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Don't forget donation dice.
Yes, I will add that. Can I add that as well as a third tag for a +4, or what is your ruling on that? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what's the third tag?
So the third tag would be supporting role, because I'm doing this to allow the escape.
Yep.
So I will roll
We're working as a team.
Look at that.
That's wild.
That's a 9.
Boom, you made it.
Barely. Okay, great.
1 for 1, create a story tag, burn a power tag or story tag. Okay.
Okay, can I give a status to the collective group of thugs, kind of bogged down for, or whatever it is?
Yeah. So let's see here.
Buffeted by winds for.
Yeah, I mean you can't really scale up the effect with just with a mild success. So you could create a story tag saying wins. You could create a story tag saying whatever.
Well, he could give a status to the goons of 4 based on, because it's give or reduce a status equal to the juice. Since his power was 4, he can create a status tag of 4 on them.
On all of them?
not all of them. It would be like he could do it. He could do like each of them has like it depends on how many
Here's
there
what
are.
I will do
Four
for you.
So-
I will treat them as if they are a handful. Okay, and
That's
you
what
can
I was,
slow them. You can make them
thinking, yeah.
slowed 3 or something like that. You could say,
Yeah,
or
that works for me.
yeah, slowed and weathered.
Buffeted
3.
3, yeah, or weathered.
Buffeted
yeah, whatever
3,
works.
we'll say.
So yeah, and I think he's kind of like keeping that little step up, and while he does that swipe with his hand, he looks over towards Victoria and kind of nods, letting her know like we're gonna have to make a quick exit more than likely.
All right, what do you do,
You know,
Vicky?
Prepare us to make a quick exit.
You can
Since
see like the storm comes up again. Oh, not this again.
yeah, and she's like, if I don't, she was like, look to you and say, if I don't have to fight, I really would prefer not to. So yeah, if we need to go, then let's get going while they're bogged down.
Okay. Go ahead, Reason.
We should probably wait till our friends come, though. Maybe you can get a hold of them in the store.
Yeah, I'll take out my phone and I'll send a text to the group saying, thugs on your 6, get it, leave, thugs on the way, get out now or things are gonna get ugly.
We all know
Cut
that
back
that's
into the
going to
liquor
do.
store. What's that?
We all know that's going to do, not anyone else, but do.
All right. Okay. Do you see this message? You all see that? Oh, there's the winds
sidekick.
again. You almost didn't even need to get the message. You're like, oh, might be. This might be time to get out of here. Do you all sort of leave, or is there any discussion?
No, I think we convinced them enough, and they gave us enough information that Corvus is satisfied. He just leaves.
They're gonna lie. They're gonna be like, I fell down the stairs. Oh, I can't believe we're lying for some kids from the college, and they're,
I do want to do
nutty
one quick
professor.
investigation. I just want to see if they're riffs.
Okay. Roll. Well, yeah, you can roll a quick investigation. I'll let you do that.
So as we're leaving, Dew is communicating with her Slappy, the wristband, and just wants to know, are these people riffs like us? Because they mentioned it before in the previous conversations.
Boom! Here's what happens. Oh, it's a mild success. Okay, I thought it was a miss for a second. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be okay." Never mind.
One away from a miss, but not quite.
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So your question was, are they riffs? Oh, and
Yeah.
you get like clues 1-to-1. So what I'll do is give you 2 pieces of information on your way out. You like look very closely, and you don't think they actually are riffs, but they have a glow. They have it reminds you of some of those gangsters you saw before that have an sort of an otherworldly glow or power to them. They're not riffs the way you understand it, but they're imbued with a legendary force. And you can, for a second on your way out, you see this, you're able to like look through the mist and you see this sort of legendary force field around them, but also you feel like it's flickering just a little bit, as if for like those two, even though one is nearly dead, the other one is fully alive, they still have the same force, but the same flickering, as if it's weakening ever so slightly. And then you all run out, and that's where we're going to end today's session. But we will not forget. But we will remember to do
Geek Out.
the final move, the Geek Out, during the credits. All right. And we'll start with our last, roller, our last investigator, Do. You can pick one of those 3 questions and, do mechanically what's in there.
Yeah, so she's going to apply a hurt point to Corvus because she was, the death ray, so to speak, was affected her too, and then she saw how terrible is what happened to when it's applied to a person. So she's definitely afraid of Corvus for sure.
Okay. All right. That's good. And how about you, Zeke?
I am going to answer which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session. I think it was kind of meaningful for everyone considering he did it twice to save our butts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to give it to Abrahm because it wasn't just, me, but yeah, he definitely deserves that help point.
All right. Okay. So you have a help point for Abrahm. And what about you, Chuck?
I'm thinking that there's my love of sports is getting in the way, and that's being strained. And as in that card.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, just write down, the answer, which is what will happen if you can't devote all your time to sports, on the back of that theme card. Okay, Abrahm.
So I think for him,
Certainly
I would like to...
the most powerful rift, it seems, at this time.
I think I would like to talk about the growth of the crew. So I think there was a lot of everyone kind of working together, not only in that initial escape scene, but here when we, drive to the pawn shop, we have lookouts, we're watching each other's back, we're maneuvering as a team, and it's kind of reminding him of his old dance troupe days. So I would like to put an attention in the crew theme.
Okay, nice. Good choice.
I believe we have 2 attention in crew, one from the Geek Out we did at the start of this session.
It's getting close to an evolution there. All right, Victoria.
All right. I'm going to give her point. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Abrahm who first brought up, how do you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure I had that right. And I'm giving her point to Abrahm for bringing up and comparing her, kind of calling her out for that kind of stuff, which she's she horribly denies that part of herself, that she knows all that and she hates that. So she's gonna hurt point him.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna have a hurt point that you can use later on. And Corvus.
Corvus very clearly going to take a hurt point with Zeke. Zeke killed someone today and had no emotional reaction. And as someone who has to struggle with the ability to just kill people and claim their souls, that's the fact that you have no reaction to that is incredibly disconcerting to him.
I see a lot of bad things. You gotta tune it out.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for playing.
You say to the Grim Reaper.
We'll be back next week. And I'm thinking that next week's we're gonna start with the I think maybe it'll be Zeke that does the
monologue.
Yeah.
All right.
The monologue, don't you think?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I
That's a good
concur.
one.
All right. Zeke, he'll be doing the monologue. And we'll turn it back over to Karsh.
So thank you, everybody. Normally, because we are a Twitch channel, generally speaking, we would do a raid, but we're on YouTube, so we can't do a raid. So if you've made it to the, thank you for making it to this. Don't forget, please, like, subscribe, click the button to all the bits and pieces. Leave a comment down below. If you like the show, be nice and leave a comment down below. If you didn't like the show, leave a nice comment down below, because being nice is, well, better than not being nice. Tomorrow we'll have a Guard's Tale with Polly again. I've got to figure out what the hell's going on, because she triggered the end of book boss well too early, and yet they still well, I wouldn't say somehow, but with a lot of help from chat, was able to defeat it. So we've got that. We've got Call Cthulhu. We've got Dungeons and Dragons this week. I had to remember which one it was. All happening on our Twitch TV channel. That's Twitch TV youtube.com/GoblinCaveTV. And if you want to see all of our previous episodes, they are up on this YouTube channel. So check those out as well. This will be edited quickly and then reloaded back up as itself. We're just going to cut out the break and the intro lead-in time. That's all we do with the breaks. Everything that we do is live, so all the mistakes, all the dropouts of our video chats and everything, and all the editing that I have to do to try to fix it all up, which is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, that's also live, which you're going to get to experience. I'm sorry, but we're learning, we're having fun, and the game comes first, so I think that was really, really good fun. Thank you everybody here. Thank you, Polly, for putting the effort in for doing this. I'm really enjoying this. Remember, this is only the prelude. We are just getting started for the big Payne Town University, the big Knights of Payne Town, which is the focus of this show. Yeah, this is really, really fun. I'm enjoying it.
Good, I'm glad.
And that's about it. The audio's been from the Son of Oak, the actual All-Seeing Eye Investigations from City of Mist, which is Son of Oak Studios, and also from been using a lot of Syrinscape sci-fi. Actually, the Cyberpunk, the apartment beginner box is what you've also been hearing in the background. And that's about it. I'll be running the credits, and thank you everybody. It's been really fun. Bye.